Hello, everybody. My name is Jim. I'm just here on a Sunday night to talk about some stuff that I found very interesting. Has to do with Syria and goes all the way back to what happened in Benghazi. So I want to bring on a couple of guests here, see what they have to say. And first, here's Dave. Hello, Dave. You're muted, Dave.
How are you, buddy?
I'm all right. You feeling better?
I never felt bad.
I don't know, man. This morning when I woke up and I saw you still streaming, you didn't look good.
I stopped drinking like at 3:30 in the morning. I hung out with Liam for a while.
Okay.
And then just started a stream and then went to bed. But I was up at noon.
You were up at noon?
Yeah. I haven't taken a nap. I'm perfectly fine.
Okay. And there's low watermark.
Watch some football today. What's up,
How
Mark?
you doing? Hey.
So you guys saw the news today, I take it, about Syria. Bashar al-Assad fled to Russia, and it has fallen into the hands of terrorists. And people are cheering that it fell into the hand of terrorists, and I don't understand it. Because I don't know if people remember or not. Back all the way back about a dozen years ago, there was this thing called Benghazi.
Mm-hmm.
And in Benghazi, what happened was, you see, this Hillary Clinton lady, she decided that it would be a good idea to overthrow Gaddafi. And I don't know for 100% if they did it purposely just to get the weapons to Syria because they wanted to overthrow Syria too, or if it was just like a happy accident. But, during that whole time, they were buying weapons from terrorists in Libya and selling them to terrorists in Syria. Ambassador got killed, and so did another Navy SEAL and some other people. A bunch of people got shot and hurt. It wasn't really, the greatest thing in the world.
Right. So why did Russia take him in, Jim?
Well, he's always been, his family, going back to his father, they've always been a client state of Russia. Like, they bought a lot of weapons and stuff from Russia, and Russia had a base and a port there. I want to say Tartarus or something like that, or maybe I'm wrong about the name, but there's a base on that Russia had ships at. So
right. So, but why does Putin want that heat?
No, he's always been there, and I think it just maybe for whatever reason, because we've been helping, we've had troops in Syria now for 8 years, I think, 7 longer, maybe 8-9 years, since before Trump came into office the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried to pull them all out, and they lied to him and said they did pull them all out when they didn't. And I think this also has to do with, I think Turkey's going to end up making a move. The Erdogan, he wants to reinstate the Ottoman Empire, and Syria would be the first step of that.
So he was the guy that was he the guy killing the Christians or trying to save the Christians?
No, he saves the Christians.
Okay,
he saves the Christians.
I'm
I'm not saying he's a good guy. He's a monster, but there's that part of the world, they're all monsters.
But he didn't gas people like they said, did he?
No, they were saying they did like this whole thing about bleach bombs or chlorine bombs, which was all bullshit, and these different things. But like, I don't know if you remember years ago, there was a FX TV show called Tyrant.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
They made it based on him to try to get people to say, we got to get rid of this guy. Like, it was about a guy he was a doctor and he was Western educated and he was a tyrant, and it was him.
Okay.
So, hey, we got another look at this. We got a Julio now. Hello, Julio.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
What's up, Kevin? Last night was a marathon. It was crazy. Mark, I left the show and went on with Liam on his show.
Yeah, I saw you on Liam's for a couple minutes.
And then I started a stream again after I got done there.
Yeah, I got up like 11 or something this morning, and I'm looking through YouTube, and it says BTM. It said streamed 4 hours ago. 4 hours? What the hell? We left 8 or 10 hours ago. What the hell, man?
Hey, Jim, I got to say, if you ever watch Santa Jaws, you might enjoy it.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good movie.
Okay, about Santa Claus or is it about Jaws?
It's about Jaws. It's about a shark that's...
Oh, okay. I thought it was Jaws from like James Bond.
No.
Like
About a
maybe he
shark.
was in outer space, Moonraker, and he was delivering presents and stuff. Like, oh.
No, it's an indie movie that they tried hard, right? They're just not very talented actors, but they tried real hard. They put in the work. So it was fine.
Yeah.
I actually wanted them to shut up a couple times. I wanted to hear what was going on.
Yeah, you had very active people on the stream, so it was hard to watch the movie.
Which is kind of the point, right? We're there to laugh at this stuff. But that one, like, after Birdemic, I think watching paint dry would have been better than anything.
Oh God,
to be honest.
Yeah, that was
I
awful.
would agree.
Oh man.
Yeah. So 14 years the U.S. has been trying to get this guy deposed, basically. Right here. So Syrian military fled the country on Sunday, bringing to a dramatic close his nearly 14-year struggle to hold on to control of his country, fragmented in a brutal civil war that became a proxy battlefield for regional and international powers. Yeah, like it was the U.S. trying to get rid of him to try and hurt Russia for whatever reason. And I think it was all over a pipeline, if I'm not mistaken.
Pipeline stuff.
It was a pipeline that they wanted through there, and he said no because Russia said no, don't do it. And, and
Aren't the Kurds
because
involved
Russia
as well?
wanted to feed them their oil. That was a thing too, right? He wanted, like Putin wanted.
Well,
to
no,
make sure.
this pipeline will basically cut Russia out of feeding Eastern Europe.
Oh, so they don't get the Germany business anymore and shit.
Correct. Yeah, or Western Europe, whatever. I don't know. Europe. Yeah. But it's fucked. Like this is bad. This is not good. This could end up starting World War III because now Israel decided. Like I got some videos in a minute. I'll pull up of Netanyahu talking about how they just rolled into Syria now and started occupying territory in Syria because for defense.
Israel
did? Yeah, Israel did because basically the army just abandoned their posts in Syria and left. And so they're like, well, we're not just going to let terrorists take up these posts. So we got to roll in. And Turkey's saying we're not going to let Israel take over Syria. That's ours to take over. So they're going to want to roll and attack. Who knows?
As if we didn't have enough World War III stuff coming on. Come on.
Yeah.
Isn't Syria a sovereign nation?
Not anymore.
Just because the president's gone, they're not a.
Well, Syria was created by after World War I, after the Ottoman Empire collapsed, they divvied it up and they created all these countries, Turkey, Syria, all that stuff. Where Israel is now, Palestine, whatever you want to call it, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. That was all the Ottoman Empire.
Okay, yeah.
And so Germany and France divvied it up and made different things, and Syria was one of those countries. It's a divided country with a bunch of different sects of people that don't like each other, and basically the only thing keeping them from killing each other was Bashar al-Assad.
Because
that sounds similar to Saddam.
Exactly like Iraq, exactly like fucking Libya. This is going to be those two on steroids. Probably worse because the amount of it's tighter area with more ethnic mixing, different ethnicities or whatever you want to call
Oh,
them.
you're talking
different
about like
backgrounds.
genocide shit going to go
Yeah,
on.
genocide. It's going to get crazy. They're going to probably wipe out all the Christians that are there.
Mhm.
What
do the Kurds have to do with it?
Well, the Kurds are going to get fucked
too?
too. Well, the Kurds are going to get fucked in the ass too because Turkey's going to end up pushing in. Like, let me see if I can find it real quick.
I'll be right back.
I heard there was a group called the Kurdish Workers Party. That was
Yeah,
involved in this.
I don't think they work anywhere, and I'm pretty sure they don't work anywhere, and I don't think they party at all. They don't.
So Biden released a statement, didn't he, supporting the rebels?
Yeah, right. Well, we're supporting some rebels. See, like, this is the thing. It's like what happened back in 2012, like 2010, 2012, that time.
Uh-huh.
Basically, you had the CIA was funding one group of rebels, and the Pentagon was funding another group of rebels. They were fucking fighting each other, just to fuck with, just to fuck with the
Just
top.
to create shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also saw we launched dozens of airstrikes
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of airstrikes.
on ISIS in
Well,
Syria.
yeah, because the guy that's running the country basically now is ISIS.
Oh, I thought he was Al Qaeda.
No, well, ISIS, Al Qaeda, it's all the same fucking thing.
Just with a different name. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, I mean, this is what's going to end up happening here. You're going to have Greater Israel. Going to come through Syria here, come through Saudi Arabia. This would cause World War III, basically. But basically, here, Israel's right now is occupying a bunch of land through here right now in this area.
Now, is it because you said it's tactically strategic for them to do that?
Well, yeah, because there was the Golan Heights, part of Syria that here, we'll let Netanyahu say. We'll hear from Netanyahu. He'll tell us.
This is a historic day for the Middle East. The collapse of the Assad regime, the tyranny in Damascus, offers great opportunity, but also is fraught with significant dangers. This collapse is a direct result of our forceful action against Hezbollah and Iran, Assad's main supporters. It set off a chain reaction of all those who want to free themselves from this tyranny and its oppression. But it also means we have to take action against possible threats. One of them is the collapse of...
I mean, he seems really happy, doesn't he? See him smiling? Like, this is great. We're taking this shit over, man. Like, this didn't go better for us.
I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, wait till your fucking country falls and all the fucking people that will say the same shit.
Say what you want about Assad. He was somebody you could work with. He didn't want terrorists in his country. He didn't tolerate that shit.
Boy, that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dave?
It was just
Sounds
like
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, all we need is another
separation of forces.
Country.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? But now, so at least a good thing, though, I guess now is all those Syrian refugees can go home now. Right? Because it's over. Civil War's over. Go home.
They don't have a country, though, apparently, I guess.
Go ahead. Go.
Yeah, go.
Make your own country. Have at it.
This is agreement from 1974 between Israel and Syria. This agreement held for 50 years. Last night it collapsed. The Syrian army abandoned its positions. We gave the Israeli army the order to take over these positions to ensure that no hostile force embeds itself right next to the border of Israel. This is a temporary defensive position until a suitable arrangement is found.
And when he says they embed themselves next to the border of Israel, obviously that's not inside the country of Israel.
No, it's in Syria.
It's in Syria. So they're in Syria right now.
Right.
So they're actually colonizing their country.
Equally, we send a hand of peace to all those beyond our border in Syria, to the Jews, to the Kurds, to the Christians, and to the Muslims who want to live in peace with Israel. We're going to follow events very carefully. If we can establish neighborly relations and a peaceful relations with the new forces emerging in Syria, that's our desire. But if we do not, we'll do whatever it takes to defend the state of Israel and the border of Israel.
Dude,
Oh.
he sounds like he just won the fucking lottery.
Yeah, well, it's gonna get goofy, you know. So it's gonna get goofy. Let's see, bookmarks. Where are we at here? So here's this guy, Jeffrey Sachs. He explains it that this has been going on since Obama.
How out of control this could escalate.
It's true, but I think we have to step back and not put this in partisan terms. This is a U.S. mistake that started 7 years ago. And I remember the day on your show when President Obama said, Assad must go. And I looked at you and Joe and I said, huh? How's he going to do that? Where's the policy for that?
Right.
And we know they sent in the CIA to overthrow Assad. The CIA and Saudi Arabia together in covert operations tried to overthrow Assad. It was a disaster. Eventually it brought in both ISIS as a splinter group to the jihadists that went in. It also brought in Russia. So we have been digging deeper and deeper and deeper. What we should do now is get out and not continue to throw missiles, not have a confrontation with Russia. 7 years has been a disaster.
This is an older video. This is from
Trump.
probably
This
10
is
years ago. I
what
don't
would
know.
call the permanent
8 years
state.
ago.
This is the CIA. This is Pentagon wanting to keep Iran and Russia out of Syria, but no way to do that. And so we have made a proxy war in Syria. It's killed 500,000 people, displaced 10 million. And I'll say predictably so, because I predicted it 7 years ago that there was no way to do this and that it would make a complete chaos. So what I would plead to President Trump is get out, like his instinct told him, by the way. That was his instinct. But then all the establishment, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Pentagon, everybody said, no, that's irresponsible. But his instinct is right. Get out. We've done enough damage, 7 years. And now we really risk a confrontation with Russia that is extraordinarily dangerous, reckless.
He was referring to the Arab Spring, Dave, that whole thing, or is it different?
I think he's talking about this was during Trump's presidency when Trump was saying to get out of Syria. So this was probably 5-6 years ago that he made that about 7. Because this started, I want to say, in 2011, 2012.
Because he said Obama said that
Assad must go. Yeah, and that was right around the time with the shit with Libya. It was probably right around, because like that, I think it was Wesley Clark made the statement where they had all these countries they wanted to, and Syria was on the list. And the crescendo was going to be Iran.
Yeah, I think it's like that Arab Spring.
Yeah,
that's all part of it, right?
So this is the guy right here that right now is in charge of Syria.
Okay, so they want him dead because he got rid of Assad?
No, he's been wanted since, because he was the leader of this, whatever, Mohammed al-Jawahani. He was the al-Baghdadi. Remember that guy, al-Baghdadi?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was his number 2. And now this is the guy in charge. Basically, they had a picture of him somewhere.
Looks like a nice fellow.
Yeah, the de facto leader of Syria now. It says at some point, he was in our jail?
What it says.
Kind of looks familiar, doesn't he? That's the same fucking guy? That's the same guy?
I
don't know,
Have
man.
you ever been seen in the same place at one time? Didn't Trump release some sort of statement today, or was that fake news? Or today or yesterday?
He released a statement. I think he said, "Get the fuck out of this. It ain't our problem."
Mhm.
Well, this is the other story too about Jay-Z. I don't know if you guys saw that Jay-Z supposedly is being accused of allegedly doing something with a 13-year-old girl. We'll get
More
to
and
that.
more of that stuff keeps coming out.
my
I wonder
God.
why.
Mhm.
Yeah. So But we launched right here. U.S. launches massive airstrikes on Syria
because they're trying to lay claim to the same
Well,
land
'cause,
that Israel is.
No, we're attacking ISIS positions in Syria and trying to keep them from advancing across the countries because we've actually got troops in Syria that shouldn't be there. And I don't know how well defended they are, if they're going to be able to protect themselves, what's going to happen. Who knows? We might end up with Benghazi 2.0, with people getting overrun and attacked. I don't know.
So what's going to happen with the Russian bases in Syria? Are they going to have to shut them down and leave?
The Russians supposedly were pulling everything back to the ports where they have their naval base. And they'll probably try to defend that and hold it. I can't see them abandoning it.
Because I know they have at least one air base in Syria.
It would depend. Like, I don't know. I can't see them pulling out completely. I don't know. They obviously, for whatever reason, didn't. I would have expected them to possibly try and help, because they've tried to help Assad in the past when it looked bad, but it just looked like maybe his army completely collapsed and just basically started abandoning and quitting. And that's not really a good idea, because I don't see how any of these people that are taking over are going to treat anybody that was in the army fairly. They're probably going to just start chopping heads off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, half the problem, though, Jim, is the reporting's so shitty, you don't know what to believe with any of this stuff. Like, did they do like the House of 1,000 Knives and fucking go out and whack all his generals? And he woke up the next day and was like, fuck, I'm fucked.
Well, he got out of there. Like, they showed
why
there was
flee?
he got out. Supposedly he's in Moscow with his family, and they went to one of his bunkers. They had video. There were some videos of them inside of one of his palaces and everything, and they went to his throne, his like bunker area where all his money was supposed to be in his vault, and it was empty. So he got his shit and got out.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of looters in there trying to loot whatever was in there. Apparently, there were Aston Martins and Ferraris. And
Didn't Trump work with him? Like, didn't he keep him under control?
Well, Trump did launch some missiles because he got hoodwinked into thinking that he used some kind of gas bombs or something. They were using chemical weapons, but they were calling them barrel bombs, and they basically were we use them all the time. It's above ground. It's a big, like a fuel oil bomb that sucks the air out of like bunkers, and that Moab, mother of all bombs. It's just shit we use all the time. So it's bullshit if you don't want us to complain about it. Like in that movie, what was it, the Pandemic or whatever it's called? No, Contagion. What was it? The one with Dustin Hoffman and
what
I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
The one with the monkey, and then the not the helicopter pilot, the actual monkey.
Right.
Outbreak, right?
Outbreak.
Yeah.
That fuel was a fuel oil bomb, a barrel bomb. It was just they were using thermobaric bombs. Yeah. So it's we always complain about what other people are doing, but we're doing the same shit.
Yeah.
So is Trump's idea to stay completely out of this pragmatic at this point? I mean,
basically,
because now Russia's got a problem to the west with Ukraine, and now it seems like they have a problem to the south.
What's Turkey going to do? Is the main question here. Is what is Turkey going to do? Is Turkey going to, is Turkey going to try and go and move in and just basically use this as an excuse to kill the Kurds? Because the Turkey can't stand the Kurds. They consider them to be terrorists. So, but like I said, this all starts back in all the way back with this. The CIA was spying on arms shipments from Libya to Syrian rebels at the time of the 2012 attack on its Benghazi facility, according to the House Intelligence Committee. But they were actually the ones selling them the weapons. They were buying the weapons and transferring them to Syria to the rebels they liked.
Isn't Syria accused of being sort of a pipeline for Iranian weapons bought from Russia being sent to Lebanon?
Yeah, maybe. They're all bringing weapons.
Is in Israel. That's Israel's problem. And Israel's problem is our problem, as we all know.
Yes, it
seems
former
to be
senior intelligence. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jim. I said seems to be Israel's problem is our problem every fucking time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The question is, what are we going to do if Israel and the Turks start duking it out?
I hope we sit back and find out who wins.
Well, I always think that the best thing to do is let Israel go and kick people's asses because they always do. They're not waiting for us to help them. So,
Yeah, but Turkey's a member of NATO.
yeah, but the U.S. isn't going after Israel. I mean, some of the citizens may not like Israel right now, but the U.S. is completely in bed
Well,
with Israel. So,
the question is, should Turkey be a member of NATO?
No.
yeah, that's always been a question.
No.
Do we still
There-
have those old Turkish-based nuclear missiles?
No, no, they're not
so those
there.
are long gone now.
Those are
Good,
long
thank God.
No, but you know, I mean, our troops get abused whenever we're in Turkey, going through there. Like Navy personnel are get attacked in the streets and stuff. And
Why did Turkey get membership into NATO? Who?
it was because they were playing footsie with the fucking Russians.
Uh-huh.
And it was basically like, oh, we'll let you into NATO, so come with us. And but then, like, technically they shouldn't be because they're constantly buying weapons from the Russians. They're intermingling weapons with the our NATO weapons and Russian weapons. They use Russian anti-aircraft weapons and stuff. Yeah. See, like,
That's an interesting question, Jim. If Israel and Turkey go to war with one another, we're technically bound by NATO to back Turkey, right?
See, it says a former senior intelligence official knowledgeable about Libya operations said the CIA, through the NATO alliance, was directly involved in arming and training Libyan militias that overthrew Muammar Gaddafi during the period between March and August of 2011. The official said the full role of the agency in Benghazi has not been made clear by the House report, but the agency was working with Libyan militias that had been armed and equipped earlier by NATO and who were engaged in arm transfers to Syrian rebels after Gaddafi had been overthrown. They were clearly gun running from Libya to Syria. The operation was conducted out of the White House and the State Department, and the CIA was not directly involved, but the United States was involved.
So the real question is, Jim, how soon before we get another BLM or Antifa riot to distract Americans from paying attention what's going on?
We
Well,
might
that's
have
coming.
one because Daniel Penny, if
Yeah.
they're saying if he gets found not guilty or whatever, if he doesn't get convicted, they're going to riot. That's what they said. They were threatening.
Well, we don't fucking prosecute by mob threat, you fucking dumbasses. That's it.
Kind of do. Look at what happened with Chauvin. So, and I mean, we're obviously letting do an old wag the dog thing here because U.S. military jets launched massive airstrikes Sunday night against ISIS positions in Syria after the Assad regime fell, hoping to keep the terrorist group from advancing across the country, conducting attacks against the West. CENTCOM said more than 75 precision strikes targeting camps and terror operatives were conducted as part of the ongoing mission to disrupt, degrade, and defeat ISIS. Wow, disrupt, degrade, and defeat ISIS. Wasn't there something called deny something, depose something that was on bullets that they used to kill that guy in New York?
Oh, the United Healthcare guy?
Yeah.
Delay, deny, defend.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh, wow. That's weird.
So
That kind of
correct me if
language.
I'm wrong, Jim, but this seems similar to Ukraine in that we went in there in 2014 in Ukraine and shook up everything, and now that caused what's happening now. We went into Syria, shook up everything, and that's called So it almost in a way it'd be like you kind of can't say, well, we can't have anything to do with it because technically we're the ones that kind of gaslit all this.
Well, I mean, as far as whatever happens now, I mean, we shouldn't have anything, let them sort it out. Who knows? Maybe it should be a bunch of different countries. Why does, Syria was basically created out of whole cloth by the British and the French after World War One.
Mhm.
It was, there's a bunch of tribal lands that just maybe they need to be separately ruled. I don't know.
We saying they should be like territories for other countries that are ruled.
No, they should be maybe their own little countries. I don't know.
I'm for the
wasn't
reformation
Syria
of the
already
Ottoman
a
Empire.
country?
Let them do it.
Syria was not really a country before,
But it was. It has been.
Well, it's been since after World War One.
Well, just like Israel has been Israel since after World War II.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
What I'm saying though is that like if the government of Israel basically descended into like anarchy and collapsed, and you had these different tribes, areas fighting, why would you make them be one country? It's like really Iraq shouldn't be one country.
oh,
it
you're
should-
saying they should break it into states.
Yeah, break it into like states.
Yeah, I got you.
Smaller states that are basically that because the populate, you got this populate, you got, I think in Syria you got the Alawites, you got the Druze, you got the Kurds, you've got the Christians, and then you've got like this the other Shia and Sunnis.
It sounds
So
similar to our states here
Yeah,
in
just-
America.
yeah.
Like Northern California and Southern California are completely different.
Yeah, or any big city next to the rest of the state, right? They're just completely different. But so I get what you're saying though, Jim. Like break Syria down into different pockets and let them have their governors or whatever, and just run their own little state within the country.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's probably some fucking resources in Syria that they'll fight over or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, flashback to Obama's Syria. This is from the LA Times back in 2016. In Syria, militias armed by the Pentagon fight those armed by the CIA.
What drove us to get involved in these countries back in 2012 with the Arab Spring?
You know
I mean,
what?
Why?
I don't know who thought it was a good idea. Obviously, Hillary Clinton wanted to, for whatever reason, wanted to get rid of Gaddafi. I don't know if this was John Kerry, if this was more of Clinton, if this was Obama. Because Obama did make a speech saying, that basically saying Bashar al-Assad's got to go.
I'm sure Lindsey Graham was for it too, though.
Oh, I'm sure Lindsey Graham's for it. I'm sure Lindsey Graham has been already talking shit about it. Like, oh, we have to do this, and we should be doing this and this and this. But,
of course. He's a warmongering piece of shit, dude.
Say clearly it wasn't Obama's idea. Somebody put the idea in his head.
Yeah.
Or
So,
told
here
him.
Biden's got, new opportunities are now opening up for the people of Syria and for the entire region. Looking ahead, the United States will do the following. First, we will engage with Syrian groups, including within the process led by the United Nations, to establish the transition away from the Assad regime towards an independent, sovereign Syria. Second, we will help ensure stability in eastern Syria, where the oil is. That's protecting our personnel against any threats. We will maintain our mission against ISIS. Third,
I thought we beat ISIS years ago.
Well, we did, but then we gave him weapons again to come back and fight with Assad.
We left him in the middle of the battlefield when we left the country, right? We just walked away from all our equipment. Yeah.
Third, we will support Syria's neighbors, including Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq, and Israel, should any threat arise from Syria during the period of transition. Yeah, we should really be careful about ending up having Jordan go down, because, King Abdullah of Jordan is an awesome dude. First of all, he's a straight up, good dude, but he is a minority. He's a Hashemite ruling over Jordan. He's a Hashemite ruling over Jordan from the Hashemite dynasty, basically. I want to say his cousin, one of his cousins, also at one time was the ruler of Saudi Arabia or Egypt or something. This goes back.
So you think he's in a bunker right now?
No, he's not. But I mean, we have to be careful that once you start kicking this shit off in that area, people start going, oh, if they could do it, why can't we? It's just what the whole Arab Spring thing happened with the Egypt. Because we did Egypt because that was how it all started. We did Egypt because we didn't want the Muslim Brotherhood in control. So
exactly.
We did the thing in Egypt to get rid of them, and then it spread to Syria, and then to fucking Gaddafi. Yeah, without Jordan, we'd be fucked in that area. So would Israel.
Yeah, because the Saudis ain't our fucking friends.
Not really.
No, they're not our friends. They've been living in that fucking desert for thousands and thousands of years, dude. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So, and then this guy Jim responded to Biden there and said, why does the pardon date back to 2014? What's important about 2014?
Yeah.
So, just want to know, U.S. Central Command reports dozens of airstrikes to eliminate ISIS camps. I thought ISIS was defeated. Matt Gaetz wants to know, when did the Congress vote for war in Syria? Good question. Oh, and they're taking credit, here. Let's listen to this shithead. That they're taking credit for Assad going down.
You know, for years, the main backers of Assad have been Iran, Hezbollah, and Russia. But over the last week, their support collapsed, all three of them, because all three of them are far weaker today than they were when I took office. And let's remember why. After Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th, 2023, when much of the world responded with horror, Iran and its proxies chose to launch a multi-front war against Israel. That was a historic mistake on Iran's part. Today, Iran's main territorial proxy, Hezbollah, is also on its back. Only 12 days ago, I spoke from the Rose Garden about the ceasefire deal in Lebanon, a deal that was only possible because Hezbollah has been badly degraded. Meanwhile, Hamas has been badly degraded as well. Iran's own military capabilities have been weakened. Iran tried 2 times to attack Israel, and the United States and built a coalition of countries to directly defend Israel and help defeat those attacks. All this made possible for Iran and Hezbollah to continue to prop up, impossible, I should say, for them to prop up the Assad regime. Additionally, Russia's support for Assad also failed. And that's because Ukraine, backed by our American allies, has put up a wall of resistance against the invading Russian forces, inflicting massive damage on Russia.
Russia's been cleaning up and taking more land and more land. It's quite possible they might have said, you know what, fuck it. We can't do this. We can't fight in these 2 places at the same time.
Mhm.
We're going to take Ukraine because
It means more to the Russians. Yeah.
Ukraine means more to the Russians than this area. Or who knows? Maybe Russia might be like, fuck you. This is our base here. And they're not leaving. It's going to have to see what happens if they leave Syria, where they have, I think they've got 9,000 troops in Syria.
Yeah, but I think the difference between Syria and Ukraine is Ukraine has Russians in it, and Syria doesn't, which is what Russia's saying. Look,
right now there's Russians in Syria because they have a naval base and an air base.
We're talking about
living there.
Civilians.
Yeah.
That's why I meant Ukraine means more to the Russian people. I mean, that makes Putin more righteous to fight for that.
And who knows? This could have been Iran and Russia also saying, you know what? Fuck it. Let them deal with what's going to happen. Because without Assad there to hold down these fucking maniac fucking jihadis, it's going to get insane. We basically gave ISIS a country. What's going to happen? Is Iraq going to explode? Because, basically Iran controls Iraq now because it's a Shiite government that's basically their people operate in Iraq freely. So it's possible they're just going to wait and then push into, you know what I mean? They might end up pushing. It's going to end up being like a Sunni Shiite war.
It is kind of amazing how all this shit has taken place like 20 or 40 days before the new guy's taken off.
Yeah, it is, right? Almost like they planned it that way.
Yeah, kind of like, well, we lost, so we're going to make this shit fucking hell. But Trump's doing the world tour right now, isn't he, Jim?
Yeah, he was over in France and stuff, talking to them, and I don't know.
He released a new fragrance, I heard today.
Yeah, he released a new fragrance. It's very interesting. The fragrance that he released is let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here.
If I recall, it's called Fight, Fight, Fight.
Yeah, it's called Fight, Fight, Fight. Yeah, see, this is the new commander of Al Qaeda and ISIS, Abu Muhammad al-Jawlani, is the new leader of Syria. So that's going to work out well.
Yeah, Ben, that's true. Putin isn't entitled to Ukraine at all. He's not entitled to anything. The country's a country, but he's got that whole Hitler thing in his brain where like he needs to take back land that was lost.
It's very Germany and Austria.
Yeah, and like people are always confused. Like this picture, see, it says USAID. That doesn't mean US aid. This is the U.S. Agency for International Development. or international democracy or something. This is like basically a cutout for the CIA in the State Department.
Oh, it's a stipend fund to support all this.
It's
shit.
what it's how they fund stuff without, so it doesn't say like it's coming from the CIA. It's coming from
Correct.
them. So
What's China's stance on all this, considering they're a big
I
group? Do they care? They don't.
yeah, I don't think they care. Talking about it giving more, they're giving another $1 billion for humanitarian aid. I read something today too, saying that they snuck some kind of language into the National Defense Authorization Act that passed for 2025, where basically it takes the ability of Trump or the Department of Defense to stop war. Like they can't just stop the war without Congress's permission. But you can't do that.
They can't do that.
Oh, it was the other way around.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get Congress's permission.
Yeah,
forward.
they've been trying to do all of that. The whole, and governors are doing things to lock Trump out and bullshit. I mean, once orders are drawn, he can't pull out. You're saying the commander in chief can't order the people to just pull out.
It's his military.
I think they would end up in the Supreme Court, and they would probably, more than likely, they would probably say that you can't do that. You're infringing on the.
He's the commander in chief, Jim.
Yeah,
he's the commander of the military. I don't know how they think they can get away with this shit.
Yeah, so
they're
Trump
just throwing a bunch of shit out there that Trump has to deal with. His people are going to have to file stuff or whatever. But yeah, day one, he could just order the troops out of anywhere he wants to. They're my troops. I'm ordering them home.
Yep.
Yeah, so Donald J. Trump. Here are my new Trump perfumes and colognes. I call them fight, fight, fight because they represent us winning. Great Christmas gifts for the family. Go to gettrumpfragrances.com. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. A fragrance your enemies can't resist. Oh, look, that's Jill Biden.
I love the look on her face. Everybody's interpreting at her, looking at him saying, damn, isn't he something?
Yeah.
I like in my head canon, I'm saying, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically, maybe she blew him afterwards. Who knows?
No, good for him. I heard the tagline for the fragrance is "Smells like victory," which cracked me up. Isn't that from Apocalypse Now?
Oh,
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Smells like victory. Yeah. So there's
is this a real thing?
That? Yes,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah,
No.
he's amazing.
Hey, Trump is always thinking of business. You gotta hand it to him.
Yep.
Jim, did you order any?
No.
Just for it's probably not even cheap.
It's like 155 or something like that for whatever the small one is.
Oh, so
And
you
immediately on Twitter, people are complaining, most of the people in your country can't even afford that. What are you doing? Oh, fuck off.
really ask all the fucking girls at the Macy's counter how much perfume they sell every day. They sell a lot of fucking perfume. That's $150 a bottle. The fuck are you talking about?
Speaking of Trump, didn't he make a statement today about the J6 people that he was going to
Yes, he's going to pardon.
Well, I think he didn't say all. He said it's a case by case, but he's going to pardon the ones that didn't do something egregious.
Here's the guys, these freedom fighters with the ISIS flags on them and stuff that just took over in Damascus. And let's hear what they have to say.
Good point.
All right. He just said, I speak Farsi. He just said that they're going to take over Jerusalem next.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Good luck.
It's going to go well.
We'll see how that
It's gonna
goes.
go well.
Yeah.
See? Right here. See, it says Biden-backed al-Qaeda rebels celebrating taking Damascus are promising that's just the start. They're going to take Jerusalem next to free all the Gazans. See, I told you I speak Farsi.
That's some hibbity-jibbity bullshit.
It is.
I think, Mark, to your point earlier, or what I think your point was, if we took the leash off Israel, they would decimate all the countries that are threatening.
They always have. They always have. They've never sat there and say, "Oh, protect us, United States." So they go in and kick ass if they need to. So
And they're not waiting for permission.
No.
They sure didn't when this summer, did they? Or this past
Walla,
summer?
walla, walla. See?
Very fluent.
Very fluent.
You did a good job.
Yes. Thank you, Snorum. I'm glad you showed up on occasion. This is an occasion, actually. It's Sunday. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
So in another country, have you heard about Romania annulling their presidential elections?
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
something.
That's something, and it's weird too. Like Romania, wasn't there some other weird shit that was going on in courts in Romania a little while ago?
I don't know, actually. I don't.
Had to do with this guy named Tate.
Andrew
Oh.
Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was saying that it was the U.S. government and British government that was causing all this to happen, that they had influenced the courts and stuff. Maybe he was telling the truth.
Mm.
Well, it was a right-wing party won, but Romania said, well, the Russians tampered with the election, we're just throw it out.
Kind of weird. Like they're just going to throw it out with elections. It's kind of like
So they're nullifying the people's vote.
Yeah, you know who does that? That's that USAID. They go in and they do these things saying building judiciary to protect democracy, and they did the same thing in Brazil. And look what happened in Brazil. They're arresting all the people in the opposition party, just like they try to do here. But hey, good thing it's like Jim Clyburn, the senator, congressman. I'm sorry, from I think South Carolina. Nice African American man. Helped Biden get victory and all that stuff. He came out and said that he's talked to Biden and he thinks Biden should just pardon everyone, including Trump.
You know what? Fetterman said that.
Start with a clean slate.
Yeah.
Fetterman said if Biden's going to pardon his son, saying it was a politically motivated court case, that he should also pardon Trump, which I thought was kind of ballsy of Fetterman to say.
Well, Fetterman said it was all political, so we'll see.
Mhm. I think he said it on the View.
You know what else? There's some other things too. Do you guys remember? Before we get into the Jay-Z stuff, do you guys remember the where's it at? That woman, her name was where the fuck's it keep going?
There's shit going off in Georgia too, in Eastern Europe.
Georgia. Oh, probably. But yeah, that woman, Sidney Powell, the released the Kraken lady that they went after and all this stuff. They said she was crazy. They tried to take her law license away and all this stuff. Wow.
Oh, the voter booth lady. Yeah,
the voter booth lady. Yeah, this lady here, Sidney Powell.
The one that Ricada fucking
the
couldn't
vote
stand.
total was changed in the pre-election voting ballots that were collected digitally by using the Hammer program and a software program called Scorecard. That would have amounted to a massive change in the vote that would.
Okay, so yeah, this lady, released the Kraken lady. Well, it turns out that Sidney Catherine Powell has been vindicated on all accounts by the Texas Court of Appeals.
No shit.
Yeah. After 3 fucking years of litigation and a 24-page ruling by the Texas Court of Appeals, the court rules the Texas bar miserably failed to prove Sidney Powell acted in dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation in the 4 lawsuits she filed against the overthrow of the United States government on November 3rd, 2020. Well, I'm not going to, these words I'm reading, I'm not my words, just so I'm not saying that.
Sure.
I'm reading what it says here. So I don't going to say, I'm not saying I deny anything in here, but I'm not going to, I've never read this before, so I can't say if I agree with everything that's, anyway.
Sure.
The court even caught the bar lying. By its own admission, the bar misidentified or failed to include multiple exhibits it claims to have relied on in its second amended response. The deficiencies go far beyond misleading exhibits. The bar not only failed to cite or argue about any additional documents, the documents are not mentioned at all. You have to be a damn fool and objectively stupid not to see what happened here, the opinion said.
That's strong language
It is.
for a court ruling. Damn.
Sidney Catherine Powell was an assistant United States attorney in 3 judicial districts under 9 United States attorneys from both political parties. She represented the United States in 350 criminal appeals and represented private parties in another 150, all resulting in more than 180 published decisions. She was the youngest assistant U.S. attorney when she began practicing. She is an elected member of the American Law Institute, and the past president of the Bar Association of the Fifth Federal Circuit, and the American Academy of Appellate Lawyers. Exposing corruption is one of the most important and powerful corrupt law enforcement agencies on the planet. United States Department of Justice. License to Lie is a book she prayed she would never have to write. So, wins unanimously. I mean, that's basically what they did. They tried to go after anyone who represented Trump, anyone who tried to fight for truth, justice, and the American way. They went after. I don't know, man. There has to be retribution, right?
I think domestically, it's starting to turn the other way with Trump's charges getting dropped and them going after Fani Willis and this woman getting exonerated. It's moving in the right direction, at least here.
That nobody on the left will probably be ever held accountable for all of that. I mean, the fact that they went after Trump's lawyers. So you go out, you hire a lawyer to do something, and because they don't like you, they go after your lawyers and start, doing things against it. That is just wild shit. Absolutely wild. And they do that, of course, to frighten any other lawyer. Don't represent Trump ever, or we're coming after you too. I mean, that was the message. And Trump still managed to get some lawyers and still managed to do okay in some places.
Yeah, how did they justify disbarring those guys? They didn't lie, Jim.
I don't know. I don't, because basically you get all right. A lot of these bar associations and these law stuff is all controlled by leftists. Like you get all these. Basically, you got very few. I mean, you get very few of these high level attorneys and people that are high up that are actually believe in the Constitution. They just believe in power and using. I mean, look at the three liberals on the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
you've heard some of the arguments. What they say, you go, what?
Yeah. Sotomayor's especially.
Yeah.
Oh God, her stuff in this latest trans stuff is just insane too, as usual.
Well, we've been streaming for 52 minutes, and I didn't even do what I'm supposed to do. Oh my God.
I didn't want to say nothing, but
we could all be getting ready to die, and we wouldn't know.
Yeah, none of this other stuff is important, people. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Good morning, folks. Today we've got several items to hit. We're going over rare blue auroras, solar impact to air travel,
auroras.
And of course, you almost certainly caught in the title, we've got a resurgence of solar activity and an X-class solar flare. So let's begin, as always, with the last 24 hours on our star, where the coronal hole stream is either still coming or was fairly weak in its impact. Solar flaring has jumped back up into X-class range. Luckily, the CME was not aimed at our planet. Let's go ahead and check some of the telemetry, starting with the X-ray flares. GOES Flux here shows this morning's big flare event blasted out from the departing active region instead of the new growing incoming group. If it had not been over here to the side, the CME might be aimed our way. As it stands, that sunspot group is beginning to depart, while the developing spots are just about its central heliographic longitudes. We'll keep eyes open on this front.
Pull it up, Jim.
Lastly, in space weather, we have been expecting a coronal.
Is he at it again?
Yep.
No.
That's his best one yet. I love it.
Oh man,
Jesus. Wow.
Dave looks like Chewbacca back here.
I might have to grow a beard like that.
See,
yeah,
you look like Chewbacca. Like, with the
I need facial hair too, apparently.
Hello.
Damn.
Coronal hole stream and a slight plasma pressure increase occurred overnight. It's possible that it was simply the phi angle flip associated with the sector boundary, and it was minor. We'll see today if a faster stream arrives at Earth. Let's go next to air travel near the polar region. While a super solar storm can impact flights across the globe, it's very regular that more modest solar activity creates communication or radiation issues near the polar cusp. This paper describes those events and plans to avoid the disruption to travel infrastructure. During a super flare, that challenge would be extreme and would spread to lower latitudes. Top story today is the recent emergence of the blue aurora. This phenomenon is highly irregular. The visuals seem tied to Earth's magnetic field lines, but that also creates a bit of a mystery, because the way that blue aurora are supposed to occur, from energetic neutral atoms, heavy nitrogen in this case, the neutral part means they should not care about magnetic fields. Based on how baffled they are, it isn't unreasonable to investigate whether the recent surge in blue aurora sightings is related to the ongoing changes in Earth's magnetic field. We discuss that topic regularly at Observer Ranch events. We've got major events coming on Saturday, and then about once a month after that. Come out and see us, observerranch.com. Today we've got a fun mug swap event and lots of kids' activities. Again, that's observerranch.com. And the topic of the magnetic pole reversal and what it means for us in the future is the subject of our upcoming documentary, due out in 2025. Please let me take a moment to plug our sponsor of the film, Goldco. Simply put, there are various stages of this unfolding event where precious metals are not just a backstop, but could be vital for trade in collapsing systems. Many of you already prep gold and silver, and if you ask me, why not get it from a company full of observers? Goldobservers.com. Go ahead and fill in those blank spaces in your prepping today. We greatly appreciate your support. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Right here, but right now. It's 5:30 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open. No fear. Be safe, everyone.
He's releasing a documentary next year.
Oh, yeah.
Jim, you got to get him on the channel to hype it.
Yeah. No, they raised a bunch of money for it. But here, we got the gold. There's anyone seen this man? He's wanted. Stop this terrorist. Mohammed Al Julio. Award for Justice.
Man, he does look familiar. Is there a reward? Oh, there is. 10 million.
10 million.
Wow. Oh, geez. Oh, FBI.
Did you hear what he said? They're having a fun mug swapping event today at the ranch. What the fuck? A mug swapping?
I guess you think people have too many mugs.
I
don't know.
I don't know. Like, that sounds very corny. Very wholesome, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna swap mugs. Okay.
I look great in this one.
Mhm.
My arms. I'm wrecked. Jacked.
Yeah, looking good. Real good.
Julio
How does
as
he
a
do it
woman.
so-
I don't really like Julio as a woman. I just gotta say, I'm not like.
Hold on, give me a minute. I don't know. It was all right.
Is Dave Jesse or is Dave the black guy?
I'm the black guy.
Jesse got killed. Okay.
I'm the black guy. Son of a bitch. Every time. Every time, Dan. Dave is feeling very worried. Oh, no. Bunch of soldiers of fortune hunting people in the jungle. Oh. What are you going to play next, Jim? Jay-Z shit?
Yeah, we're 1 second. We'll get to the Jay-Z stuff, but this is more stuff. Why are you like this? Scott Horton and Scott, people ask me, and then I agree with Scott in this. This is Biden talking about what they're doing in Syria right now. Biden authorized U.S. airstrikes on Sunday against Islamic State camps and operatives inside Syria. A swarm of B-52s, F-15s, and A-10 Warthogs hit more than 75 targets. There should be no doubt we will not allow ISIS to reconstitute itself and take advantage of the current situation, said General Michael E. Guerrilla. Magilla Guerrilla is his name? Really?
I think so.
Magilla Guerrilla? Holy fuck. The head of the U.S. Central Command, which oversees operations in the region. All organizations in Syria should know that we will hold them accountable if they partner with or support ISIS in any way.
Oh, boy, they just want to start another war, dude. They just want to give us another reason why we have to deploy soldiers to the fucking Middle East. Jesus Christ.
Gotta have war. Gotta keep that money flowing.
Military industrial complex needs to be fed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting rather old.
Part of me is upset that we're doing airstrikes in somebody else's sovereign country, but I can't lie. I wouldn't mind if somebody came in and did some airstrikes on some locations here in America.
Damn.
Here we go. Breaking 911.
Small airstrikes.
Drone strikes.
Yeah.
Breaking news here we got. This is all alleged. I'm not saying that this is true at all, Jay-Z. Don't sue me. I'm just reporting the news.
Correct.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm not
Allegedly.
selling crack on your corner, so don't shoot me. Jay-Z accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Diddy at an MTV VMAs after party per NBC News. So sue NBC News. They're the ones saying it. You know, it's weird that NBC would come out with this stuff almost like you didn't help Kamala win, so you're out on your own now.
Yes, and the last gasps of whatever power they have left as NBC. So good
The
luck to
alleged
them.
victim claims in a lawsuit she went to Radio City Music Hall and was approaching limousines hoping to spot a celebrity when a driver told her fit what Diddy was looking for. That's weird. Fit what Diddy
She
was looking
fit.
for.
She fit what Diddy was looking for.
She fit what Diddy was looking for. The lawsuit alleged she was later taken to a party and raped by both men while others watched.
NBC has turned into TMZ.
You know.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah,
maybe
there's-
that's how they pull out their fame and fortune, is by turning into one of those.
She was offered a drink that made her feel woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down. She went
Oh,
to a
another
room.
Bill Cosby chick. Holy hell. Here we go.
Shortly after, the suit said Combs and Carter entered the room, with Combs saying, "You're ready to party." That's when she alleged that Carter removed her clothes and held her down and raped her while Combs and another unnamed watched. Wow, I hope it wasn't J-Lo or Beyonce. That would be terrible.
Mm.
It's probably Lizzo.
That's when,
Holding her down. I'm saying.
She would have been squashed, Julio. Come on.
That's true.
said she was able to resist being forced to perform oral sex on Combs by hitting him in the neck, that he stopped. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
If he's, I mean, because if you're being forced to do something, your head would be here and his neck would be up. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this.
Could always use your teeth, people.
That's a good point.
So, with a statement, Jay-Z comes out swinging with forceful statement, slamming rape accuser. You have made a
Strongly
terrible
worded letter.
error in judgment. We don't play these games. We have strict codes and honor. Wait, like no snitching? Is that the code? Snitches get stitches? Is that the code? We protect children's. You seems to exploit people for personal gains. My
You didn't
lawyer
say-
received a
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated with the nature of these allegations and public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. Exclamation point. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in very public fashion. So no, I won't give you no red 1 cent. What? It's supposed to be 1 red cent, not 1 red penny.
Well,
He's mixing metaphors here.
Yeah.
These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Well, I mean, if it happened in 2000, right? Is that what they're
Yeah.
saying? That's
Yeah,
kind
too long.
of probably outside the statute of limitations and shits.
Yeah.
He don't know that.
I got you, Jim.
I'm sure he does. He has lawyers. He's
Mhm.
probably already talked.
He's
to
got
lawyers.
rock star lawyers like Eric July.
Mhm.
I would think Puffy and Jay-Z have way better lawyers than Eric July. They better.
Like,
Whatever.
probably got
Whatever.
a couple of banker lawyers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They have Chris Bacon's legal team.
yeah. So now he's going to start trashing her lawyer. This lawyer, who I've done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern in these type of theatrics. Wait, is her lawyer Ben Crump?
I don't know.
I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby. But I promise you, well, actually, see, you're kind of not supposed to attack an attorney like this. Not
Why?
really, because you're not supposed to. It's like frowned upon. Courts get pissed.
Can we agree that he didn't run this letter through his lawyer before he released it?
Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. It doesn't look like a lawyer. It doesn't look like a letter that any lawyer, unless it's
Wrote
that
it.
lawyer. Maybe remember that lawyer from Seinfeld? What was his name? The guy that thought he was Johnny Cocker, but he wasn't. What was his name?
Was that Brian? Oh, yeah, the black guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
I just
good.
know when I was going through a case many years ago, I would write what I thought was going to be my response, and my lawyer would go, "Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, nope, nope." He just would X shit out and change it. It looks like this. It's like he doesn't have an editor.
So you don't think in this trial we'll get it? If the condom don't fit, you must have quit. And they'll be like, "I got you," because I never wear a condom.
And you know she'll not remember the exact date because when he says I wasn't even in New York at that time. It was the year before. Something else will happen, right? Like all these fucking.
Oh, so this is another one of them lawsuits you see that they're doing because of the law that they changed specifically to go after Trump.
Yep.
Doesn't he write lyrics for a living, Jay-Z? Isn't that his kind of stock and trade? He's a poet.
Well, I guess maybe this is going to be proof he doesn't really write all his music. I don't know.
Oh, well, allegedly.
I have no idea how you, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. Is that a threat?
I think
you claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Did Eric July write this?
Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. That's a whole attack on the lawyer, which has nothing to do with the case. The lawyer is incidental. It's stupid.
Yeah.
My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. Well, this girl was 13. What about that? It's unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims who've had to watch how their story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Huh.
Wow.
The same could be said about a certain woman who had a cat named Vagina.
Mm-hmm. Do they have to sit their kids down and explain to them the lyrics that Jay-Z writes about shooting people and drugs and whores and stuff?
Did you have to sit him down to explain about Diddy? I don't know.
You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. Oh, he puts celebrities in quotes. Does he not think he's a celebrity?
People
I think
use
it
quotes all the time.
Yeah, it's a grammatical error, I'm sure.
Yeah. I am not from your
He
world.
thought it made him look smart, though. That's the
Yeah,
point.
yeah. People usually do.
Yep.
I am not from your world. I am a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a project?
Wow, a project. Wow.
No, the project of Brooklyn. Brooklyn is the entire Brooklyn is a project. Okay, good to know. Don't go to Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. That, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable.
Fake physics. Did he mean fake psychics? I don't even get where. Fake
I think he was
physics?
referring to grabbing his neck while
no,
she was allegedly avoiding oral sex.
I bet he believes in the flat Earth.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I bet you Jay-Z's a flat earther.
Yep. That sounds like flat Earth talk.
God. So your first response is probably not what you want to go with, people. Just saying.
Yeah, don't hit the send button all the time.
That is great advice. Sleep on it.
Walk away from the keyboard, come back and reread it and say, maybe not. That's not what I was really trying to get across.
I was young and stupid when I wrote that. I need to rewrite that.
That was this morning. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Well,
C-SPAN put a ranking list out of the top 10 presidents. C-SPAN. Anyone want to take a gander at this list and tell me who they think should definitely not be on it?
Lincoln.
Yeah, a lot of
Lincoln,
people.
yeah, should not
Right
be on it.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt could
Teddy?
be on it, not Franklin.
Not Franklin.
You know,
It was
Obama
Washington.
shouldn't be on there.
Obama. No way.
You know,
He's
I
not a
don't- I don't-
top. He's not a top
I don't-
40
I
president.
really don't think Truman should be on it either. You know, I mean, what did
No,
Truman
he
do that
caused a
was
lot
so
of
great?
harm. Yeah, he caused a lot of harm too with his policies.
I'd keep Washington, Teddy, Jefferson, maybe and maybe Eisenhower.
I'm not keeping Lincoln on the list. Washington, yes.
I don't know what Eisenhower really did. I mean, he was a great general.
Well,
But he
didn't
didn't
really
do.
do
You know what he didn't do? Anything that we regret. Well, did he do Korea? Was that his deal? Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, that's
can't be in it.
unfortunate.
You can't be
Yeah.
in it. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Or was that Truman?
Truman started Korea.
Yeah. Then I'm okay with Eisenhower. He inherited that mess.
Although Eisenhower kind of got us involved in Vietnam.
Ike got us involved in Vietnam.
Yes, he's the one who sent the original advisors and stuff.
Oh, I thought that was Kennedy. No.
No, it started under Eisenhower.
Yeah, that's another thing that Kennedy inherited, right? And then Nixon inherited it. Like it was the Afghanistan of the '60s, right? Just fuck.
Yeah.
Never ended.
Who gave China to the communists? Was that Truman or Eisenhower? It was one of them. I don't remember. It had to have been Truman.
He had a couple of big hits, but other than that, he wasn't overall.
Well, didn't Truman also do something with steel workers or something, like nationalize a steel mill or something?
Oh, he
fucked
took
over
over this.
Yeah, something happened. Like they were going to go on strike because they were going to go on strike, and he did kind of force them to not go on strike or something.
What do you think of Reagan on that list? I liked him,
10.
but
Top 10.
he was
Reagan was good, but you know what? He did a lot of fucked up stuff too.
amnesty for
Yeah, the
immigrants.
amnesty thing basically gave away California for forever.
Yeah. He liked that dark ops shit, dude. He liked sending people guns and shit to fight wars that he couldn't officially. Maybe he's not a top 10 president, Mark. I don't know.
There's nobody left though. Where are you going to go for top 10? You're going to go on to John Quincy Adams? I mean, come on.
Trump.
Trump.
Yep.
Trump.
Well, Trump does get
one,
two
Trump
spots
two.
because
Yes.
it's two separate terms there. So
He gets
not connected.
two spots because two separate
Yeah.
terms.
Yeah.
But you know who actually I think was a great president that doesn't get a lot of credit for the shit he did is John Adams.
As far as banking and stuff, right? Wasn't he?
No. Basically, no.
Well, what did he do that was good?
Nothing that I can think of. That's what makes him great.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Well,
He didn't
Andrew
do anything.
Jackson.
Andrew Jackson, Ulysses S. Grant. You know, he was a tyrant too, and a piece of shit, and a drunk, and you know.
I'd give Teddy the number one spot, or at
Teddy
least
was-
top 5.
Well, Teddy was good. It was Warren G. Harding.
What's the one that had to be buried in piano case because that was Taft, right?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
Taft.
giant.
Wasn't he president for like 30 days? Is
I
it-
think it was Harrison was president for 30 days. I think he got assassinated. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Did Taft get assassinated, Jim?
I don't know.
I thought they wrote a song about him.
Is he? I know one of them died of a heart attack or something. McKinley, I think, is the one who only was president for 30 days. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Or was that one of the? There was two. What's his name? The guy from Harrison. There was two Harrisons, two different Harrisons that were president. I think maybe one of them.
Yeah,
died of
William Henry
pneumonia.
Harrison. William Henry Harrison. Yeah, on
there
his
was another-
32nd day. Can you imagine you're elected president and you only get 32 days and you die? Jeez.
Yeah. So Taft, William Taft, was president, and he was a Supreme Court justice or Chief Justice of the United States. So he made it through his one term, 1908 to 1912, and then lost to Woodrow Wilson in 1921. Warren G. Harding appointed Taft to be a Chief Justice, a position he held until 1930. Wow. So he's the only person ever to be president and a Chief Justice.
That is amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I think it was interesting. Obama was on the list. I think history will look back on him as really kind of being nothing. I think it was interesting. Obama was on the list. I think history will look back on him as kind of being nothing. I think it was interesting. Obama was on the list. I think history will look back on him.
I had another stream.
Obama was on the list. I think.
Dave, what are you doing?
I love that.
I don't have a stream key. I can't do that. I'm not even a moderator here, so I got no power. I can't do links. I can't do anything. I can just be a guest.
It is weird to see you on the top right, Dave. It's like Bizarro Street.
I know. Weird.
What do you mean? You're a mod in my chat. What are you talking about?
I don't have a wrench.
Hey, you do.
I typed it earlier and I didn't see a wrench. Jim sucks. I don't see a wrench there. You see a wrench?
Where?
In the chat where I just typed Jim sucks? I see low watermarks wrench.
I swore you were a mod in my chat. I swore you were.
I'm going to time Dave out just because I can.
I don't. You know what? You know probably why? Because it's probably the first time you've ever actually been in my chat.
Could be.
Probably, yeah. Because you've only streamed like 2 other times, right?
Twice, I think. Yeah, and
you did last
neither
week.
Time. I don't think you were
last week when you said you were going on. I was like, I was in bed already. Holy shit! Everyone has a wrench, but Dave. That's the story of my life, dude. No big deal.
Do they have wrenches in Rumble? Is there like a...
There is moderators in Rumble. I'm not sure exactly how it works, though.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to assign it, I don't think.
Yeah, there's some way you can do it, but I'm not sure.
I don't know why you need them in Rumble.
To keep people from posting links and stuff. You can have,
oh, you get those trolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like sometimes on Rumble, you'll go look in your comments and nobody likes or dislikes much on Rumble, and they barely leave comments. I only get comments once in a while from like Realzik or somebody, but most of the time it's somebody at Rumble that can help, not Rumble themselves, but somebody that can help my Rumble channel grow. They're always, just hit me up and we can, because they really like my content, Jim, of course, right? Oh, I just watched your show. I really like it. I know I can make your show grow. Okay.
I never believed that.
I don't either. Oh my God. Did you see the new picture he put up?
No.
Oh.
Let's see. Where is it? What a dick.
What an asshole.
What a dick.
Oh no.
Holy fuck.
I spin like the moon. Jim, the solar flare has done wonders for my skin. Julio, I was young and stupid here. And Mark, I'm not drunk enough for this.
It should have been drunk enough for this shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Specific said he was going to be here tonight. He lied.
He's probably on another show. Guy never is off the internet, dude. He ain't talking on the internet. He's tweeting.
Did you read about South Korea, Jim, imposing martial law for about 5 hours last week? And then
Yeah, but see, that happens a lot. From what I understand, it's a constant thing that goes on, and then it's like basically anytime there's a change in administration in South Korea, they always go after the
old
outgoing
regime.
party, the old regime. So I think he was trying to do something to protect himself, and I don't know. It doesn't look like it was that big of a,
I love how fast their impeachment process worked. It took like an hour and a half for him to, be vindicated by like 5 votes or something. But he could have gotten himself tossed out over that.
Didn't he gave a speech that was literally, I was young and stupid. He's like, well, maybe I should
a few hours ago, I was young and stupid. Now I'm much better.
Right. I hit the send button before I should have.
What happened? What happened? I have no idea what happened in South Korea.
If I'm not mistaken, whoever the guy in charge of South Korea was thought that the parliament had been overrun by North Koreans and communists. So in order to get a certain bill passed, he declared martial law and had troops go into whatever their version of the Senate or parliament is. And then later that night, he took it back and went, well,
and on their way in, the troops got basically their asses handed to them by bystanders on the street. They were very effective.
Yeah. No. So yeah, his speech was basically, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, that's
Huh. But he kept his position?
Yeah, he managed to keep it. But I love the fact that the impeachment process literally lasted like a couple of hours and it was over. It's not weeks or months or anything,
Yeah, it's cool.
Get this shit over with.
You have to run your government, right? Like,
yeah.
Shit. Makes sense.
Everything in the U.S. takes too long.
Everything. We are so litigious, man. Everything's got to go to court. Everything's got to be judged by another person. No, we elected you assholes to make these decisions, not the
Sending in
judge.
troops does seem to expedite processes.
Especially when you're over the troops, right? Well, I can sick them on you, or we can actually go do something. So I will be on the road 3 nights this week.
Which nights? Monday night or later in the week, or?
Oh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Wilford Brimley has joined the stream.
I got the beatus.
What's up, Cindy?
So what do you think? Do you think Jay-Z is guilty, or do you think he's being wrongly accused?
He's guilty because of reasons.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I would
what
say
does that mean?
I would say anybody who wears this hat is very suspect. Look at the size of that hat.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely guilty with that fucking hat. What are you talking about?
I mean, what's he hiding under there?
Yeah, probably
13-year-old girl under there or something?
With everything, like all the close ties he had with Diddy and them. Yeah, I'm sure he's probably fucking guilty personally.
Maybe he's hoping coming out swinging and all that will make it go away, but that's
him
dumb.
swinging was the problem to begin with, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at this! You guys see this Warlock? I don't know. I don't want to really get into this stuff today. I want to stay away from the drama shit.
Drama.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about important things like that. We're going to talk about government stuff.
Yeah. Here's this Representative Joe Wilson celebrating the brutal Assad regime fell. Let's check back in with Joe in about 6 months after tens of thousands of Christians are beheaded in the streets of Syria or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. You're either going to get human trafficked or purged.
Or both.
Oh,
Human trafficked and purged.
42-year-old man is Hermione.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Jason Whitlock says, when Jay-Z sold drugs, he checked IDs and made sure no kids were harmed. He didn't sell to parents. He honored a code. He was an honorable drug dealer. Tony Busby's about to find out. Jay-Z is different. Even his threats are honorable. Yeah, Jason Whitlock, prove it. Prove that he checked IDs and he didn't sell. Get the fuck out of here.
Jason Whitlock was the most race-baiting sports writer about 10 or 15 years ago. And now he's smelling where the money's at. So all of a sudden now he's gone right wing. It's many such cases.
Many such.
Yeah.
There's rumors Laura Trump is going to go to North Carolina to primary Tom Tillis. What do you think?
You think so?
She's from North Carolina.
I mean, I could see it happening. But I don't. Yeah, the likelihood of it happening, I don't think so. I could be wrong. I'm not a political genius like you and Mark.
Possible. Talk to a girl reveals reason she will never thank the interviewer who made her famous. She's giving him a finger.
Hawk to a girl.
See, I think like everyone was attacking her about the whole meme coin stuff, and I don't really blame her.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, I don't think she knew what the fuck it was.
No.
Yeah, I think she got fucked on that, right?
I'm hearing some kind of rumblings that actually one of the Paul brothers was involved in that.
Amazing.
Meme coin.
Yeah.
Didn't he have? Wasn't there something he was in with some kind of animals or something before, meme animals or something?
Yeah, something zoo. I forget what it was.
Zoo something or other that was real
Yeah.
shady.
Yeah, and he took everybody's money and then never done anything with it and fucked them all.
Yeah, and
why would she thank the interviewer? I mean, he just asked her a question. She came up with the bit
because he didn't have to put it online. She would just been an obscure piece of crap on the cutting room floor.
Well, but he put it online to make money for himself. Really, he should be thanking her.
What do you guys think of the new Trailer Park Boys podcast that's coming out?
I didn't know they were doing one. It looks like it's going to be a good show. You, Vito, and Dick.
That would be great. I'm trying to will it into existence.
You should take Sean's place, Jim, on the Dick Show. You got to work your way into that.
I am not.
Jim, Jim, share my screen just for a second.
Okay.
There's a new movie. There's a new movie being worked on that stars a couple people we know.
That looks like Julio and Low Watermark.
Yeah.
It is Julio and Low Watermark.
The abuse.
You can thank Dan.
Yeah, that was something Dan sent me when I
I like
asked
that.
go ahead.
Dan's always shipping me and Mark.
I was trying to
All these
commission
things.
I was trying to commission something from him, and he sent me that and said, "You're playing checkers while I'm playing chess."
That's cool.
He is from Alabama, so you got to forgive him that.
I don't know how to play checkers. What are you talking about? I mean, chess?
Exactly.
Yeah, he said I was playing chess while he was playing checkers, is what he actually said. So
you got the story wrong?
Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm tired. Okay.
Been streaming all day?
Dude, the CG Church went off the rails.
What's that?
That's a Ruby King stream, and we were all. I got into a back and forth about personal property rights with Dave's favorite liberal that comes on there.
Personal property rights? What the fuck? What's personal property?
We were talking about the Nick Fuentes stuff, and I said, well, if some woman was outside my property filming me for 30, 45 minutes to an hour and then walked up to my door in the state of Alabama, I would have probably kicked her ass down the stairs too and not ask any questions. And
he's going to have some trouble, though, in Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it.
In all honesty, though, he might not. They might just because they don't. It's Cook County.
Dude, they got so much other crime.
We got so much
going
other
on.
shit to worry about. They might be like, get the fuck out of here.
Shut up. Stay off the man.
Was somebody defending the woman's position, Cynic, on the show?
Yeah, Jesker was, but not like really her position. The fact that he escalated it, yada yada. And I said, the moment you step on my property, you've escalated it. So
he ended it. Didn't escalate it.
And he was like, well, what do you do if somebody just knocks on your door? I said, you're talking about a woman who was out front filming on her
Stalking
phone,
his house. Yeah.
stalking his house. I'm not saying if the mailman or some random dude with candy bars knocks on my door, I'm gonna kick him down the fucking steps.
Nope. Only person I do that to is the people
Jehovah's.
the people that want to take the fucking census every 10 years.
Oh yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck off my property.
I've thought about it when people try to come up and try to sell me magazines to help a youth
Talk
organization.
amongst
I've thought
yourselves.
about
I'll be back in 1 second.
Dave,
booting them
Dave
down.
opens the door and goes, "This is Dave's house," and Sparta kicks.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Mormon, are you? Well,
well, get up. But he told me a story of where God, how did Jessica put it? He was like, he said, but you didn't have to escalate it. And I told him a story about a guy when I first moved here who was filming. He stopped in front of my house and was taking pictures for some real estate website. And I watched him for like 30, 45 minutes. And then I saw him get out of his truck and step on my property. And I walked outside and I said, get the fuck off my property. And the guy got back in his truck and left. And Jessica said, well, then, I would have to fight you. I said, wait, what? He goes,
What?
yeah, because he said, yeah, because now you've cussed me.
So?
And I said, wait a minute. So you care about mean words, but not property rights? Where the fuck is this logic? He said, well, that's just disrespectful. And now I would have to escalate it.
Okay, yes. Some people take disrespect very seriously.
Yeah.
Of course, legally they're in the wrong, but
yeah. And if that dude would have kept walking towards me, I would have just plugged him and said, okay, sorry, I have castle doctrine. Don't walk across my
Dave,
property.
I found this video you might be interested in. Ready to learn about the plot for season 3 of House of Dragon?
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't give it away.
Dave.
Please do. I can't wait.
We fight for our queen.
Okay, they fight for their queen. I guess that's it. That's the plot.
God, he looks so crazy right there.
Ugh.
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 Dave's disgust for House of Dragon is amazing.
Dude, it's awful. Nothing fucking happened in that show.
Something's got to happen in season 3, though, right?
That's what they say. All I know is I was watching some movie last night where people were walking around a lot in cars a lot, and everything was aquamarine colored for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And the only reason the chick wanted the guy to be her boyfriend is because he was going to buy her a Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Was that Birdemic?
Yeah, when she said it
Birdemic
one time,
3.
I said, okay, but like he's at the point of proposing or something. So you're gonna buy me the Tesla, right?
Yeah. Like he says, I love you. And she goes, that's all? You just love me? What? It was the most propaganda global warming POS ever made.
It was the worst, maybe the worst. And I don't mean I enjoy bad movies bad. It may have been the worst, most useless movie I've ever seen. And I'm so happy that we did Santa Jaws, which was amazing.
No Santa Jaws
that was
at
great.
all.
Yeah.
It was
I watched Farscape after we got done with that stream.
Fuck yeah, sweet.
God, dude, I forgot how
All right,
good
did
the
you guys
fucking
hear
show
the
is.
news?
Love that show.
You guys didn't hear the other news that came out over the weekend?
No.
Turns out Hitler might have actually escaped Germany.
I'll be
Boy,
right
that
back.
escalated.
Might have saved Germany.
No, escaped from Germany.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Shh. Secrets.
Oh,
No?
yeah, go ahead.
In 2009, scientists tested a fragment of Hitler's skull. Results showed it belonged to a woman under 40. The evidence of Hitler's death.
So if it belonged to a woman under 40, that couldn't be Hitler, right?
Maybe he was trans.
Yeah. Could
Maybe. Oh, maybe. You know what? Okay, maybe Hitler was trans.
He's Austrian.
Wait,
you know, they're
wait,
weird
wait,
over
wait,
there.
wait, if he's trans though, how could he be the bad guy? They're all the good guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's like Catch 22.
They wouldn't show Hitler in a bad light if he was trans, would he? He would have been justified for all those things he did, because he would have been misunderstood, right? He's a misunderstood. Yes. You didn't know his turmoil he was going through in life, and this was his way of getting revenge. Okay.
All I will say, Kevin, is yes.
That's exactly why I'm doing this. It is my show now.
Evidence we trusted for 60 years was fake. In 2022, researchers found a Nazi submarine off Argentina's coast. It was intentionally hidden. When asked to investigate, Argentina said no. They're still saying no. For 32 years, the FBI ran their longest manhunt ever. They were looking for Adolf Hitler. But history says Hitler died in his bunker on April 30th, 1945. Why was the FBI tracking a dead man? And why was Stalin so convinced Hitler escaped to Argentina? Well, information is hard to find because someone wanted this buried, and they still do. Because accepting Hitler escaped means accepting something far worse. The most evil man in history didn't just survive, he was protected, and not just by Argentina.
Hey, dude, Hitler made a lot of people a lot of fucking money. Just understand this. A lot of U.S. companies made a shit ton of money during that goddamn war. Like it or not. So, yeah, did he have friends? Yes. It's fucking stupid how much support he got. Sorry, Jim.
Sorry. Can you guys see everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slice it so thin that it used to liquefy in the... Yeah, human. Thank goodness. I'm in big trouble. They're after me.
Whoa, who's after you now?
The mafia. You know, the Cosa Nostra.
Oh no, Don Barracuda?
The Godfather himself.
Why? I thought you paid him back.
I did.
With interest?
Well, of course. It was the only thing I could think about.
No, not that kind of interest. What makes you think the mafia's after you?
Today, in the mail, I got a Sicilian message.
Uh-oh, a horse head in your bed?
No.
A dead fish in a shoebox?
No, it was a coupon for free cannoli at Palermo.
Palermo?
Yeah, it's the capital of Sicily.
I know what Palermo is.
It's also the name of that Sicilian restaurant that just opened in the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call a free cannoli a life-threatening situation.
I'm pre-diabetic. Plus, I just got a call from a waste management company trying to upgrade me to a tree yard dumpster. And 10 minutes ago, a concrete salesman was here threatening me.
How did he threaten you?
He said if we don't patch the driveway, we could end up with water damage.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to sell you his services.
Hello, paisano. I know. The problem is, how do all these people know where I live?
Look, I told you not to enter that raffle at last year's San Gennaro's feast.
What? And pass up a chance for a lifetime of free Zeppelis?
I thought you're pre-diabetic.
Stay focused.
Well, you gave them your name, your phone number, your address. They turned around and sold all that information to data brokers. That's where you're getting all these calls.
No, I'm going to have to go on a run again. I could probably stay at my cousin Joey in Portland. I just don't know if there's enough room for me and Gertie in his tent.
You don't have to move. Just use Delete Me.
Oh, did you just bada bing your way into today's sponsor?
I sure did. Delete Me is a hands-free subscription service that removes your personal information that's being sold online. Their team of privacy experts removes you from hundreds of data brokers all year long. And in just 7 days, you'll receive a detailed privacy report showing exactly where your information was found and removed. Delete Me removes your personal data like phone numbers. It protects removals files to receive.
I don't have to move. I might think I'm out.
That was a long ass ad. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was eternity, right?
Yeah.
Yep. It's April 1945 and Berlin is in ruins. Hitler and Eva Braun started their escape on April 28th, 2 days before their alleged deaths. They slipped through a secret tunnel connecting Hitler's study to the Berlin subway system. A makeshift airstrip was set up, and a Junkers Ju-52 transport plane was fueled up and standing by.
Junkers? You mean Yonkers, north of the city, where my cousin Monty lives.
Not Junkers. Junkers. It's German.
Yeah, I still wouldn't trust a plane called a Junker.
Junker.
What'd I say?
The plane took off at 3 a.m., carrying Hitler, Eva, and a few others. Bad weather kept Soviet fighters grounded that night. No radar picked up the flight. It was a clean getaway. Their first stop was Denmark at an old Zeppelin base.
Say, hey, Mom, I said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
Jim, did the Russians have radar? I thought only Britain had a very early version of radar, and that's what helped them keep their coast safe. But I don't know if anybody else had radar back then.
We did.
The war.
We had radar. The British had it set up. The Germans weren't really big on radar. I'm sure we gave some to the Russians.
You think so?
Sure. We were giving the Russians a bunch of shit.
I thought the God, what was it, like the Rust 2 or something like that was a radar. I'm gonna Google this. Hold on.
You know, of all the conspiracy type stuff, this makes the most sense to me out of anything, because why in the world would Hitler sit there and wait till the end? Why wouldn't he have gotten out? I got to stay in my bunker and die.
Well, this ties into a bunch of stuff that we watched in the past. Stuff about that, the plan when they met at the Moulin Rouge or whatever was that.
With Bormann and all those guys. Yeah.
When they were meeting in France, like in '43, I think it was, and talking about moving all the stuff.
Yeah, the Russians had radar back in 1934, and in 1939 they introduced the Rus 1 radar, and it was adopted by the Red Army. And then their most successful one was the Rus 2,
which was much later, right?
I think towards the end of the war. So
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think like going into World War I, the Russians had the largest military, the most funded, like the biggest military, and had spent the most money. I think.
Yeah, they were a huge country, though. Yeah.
No, you are, Kevin. Sorry, the chat. I swear to God, man.
No.
Okay, not that Zeppelin.
Oh, not the band, the dirigible.
Dirigible?
Yeah, it means airship.
I know what it means. Can I just get through this?
Fine. Go ahead. Sheesh, what a grouch.
A group of wounded German soldiers gathered near the runway to meet Hitler. Several witnesses reported seeing him there. After refueling, they landed at a Baltic airfield to switch planes. And this plane was special, a long-range aircraft from a secret Luftwaffe unit that had been flying Nazi officials to safety for months. Spain was next. Franco's government, paid in Nazi gold, provided a Spanish Air Force plane for the flight to the Canary Islands. Spain claimed neutrality during the war, but newly discovered documents proved they were secretly helping the Nazis. They landed at Villa Winter, a fortress built by Germany with one purpose: escape. It had a massive radio antenna for maintaining contact with Berlin and Buenos Aires. The facility had a runway for large aircraft and a deep harbor, perfect for submarines. 3 U-boats from the Seawolf Group waited offshore. These weren't combat subs. They were modified for escape. Hitler boarded U-518, an IXC-class sub. An IXC could run silent on batteries for days. On a full charge, they can cross the Atlantic and back. They were big enough for passengers, supplies, and something else: medical equipment. And here's our first historical snag. Official Navy records say U-518 was sunk during Operation Teardrop in April 1945. The USS Carter gets credit for the kill. One problem: the wreckage was never found. Not then, not now. We know the exact coordinates where it was supposedly destroyed, and not a speck of it has ever been seen. A 250-foot steel boat weighing over 200 tons vanished without a trace. Then a police report from Argentina revealed something impossible. The submarine wasn't lost. It was exactly where it was supposed to be.
Who left? Julio?
Yeah. He posted that he was leaving.
The report came from Don Luis Mariotti, police commissioner in Necochea, Argentina. His officers caught a German signaling an unidentified vessel offshore. Under interrogation, the man admitted it was a submarine looking for a safe landing spot. The next morning, Mariotti's men found fresh tire tracks on the beach. 5 officers followed them, but were stopped by armed German soldiers. When Mariotti reported this, his superiors ordered him to forget what he saw and release the prisoner. This was dismissed as conspiracy theory until 2022. Argentine researcher Abel Basti found evidence of German U-boats operating along the coast long after the war ended. He found eyewitnesses. He found naval records. He even found the exact coordinates where witnesses said the subs were scuttled. The government called it fantasy, so Basti got funding and dove the site. They found a modified German submarine exactly where witnesses said it would be, right off the coast, intentionally sunk in shallow water. Argentina's response? Those aren't Nazi subs, they're rock formations.
What do you guys think about that?
Hey, I'm going with this one.
Yeah, I have no doubts. I never believed that Hitler was so vain he's going to kill himself in a bunker. The guy tried to fucking rule the world.
I'm going to tell you something. I never had a doubt in my mind that Hitler died in the bunker until I saw this fucking video.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, what?
Really?
My son used to tell me all the time Hitler escaped. I thought he was nuts. He was showing all these videos. I'm like, dude, you know what we're talking about, Hitler? No, whatever. Because he was watching.
Yeah.
And he was watching all these shows on one of these channels, hunting for Hitler and these things. And he's like, oh, no, he survived. And I'm like, no.
My biggest thing was always they said they burned him in 4 hours in the courtyard in the open air with just some gasoline to ashes. And I went, that doesn't seem likely.
Takes a lot more than
all this stuff that's coming out in the last few years about the skull that they tested that was a woman's, and they found the submarine there, and there's documents released that the FBI had reports from people that people that were Nazis that were here in the United States who were brought here under paperclip and stuff that were communicating with other Nazis. Maybe they were helping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't believe about all of that was when this stuff really took off big a couple decades back or whatever. Oh, he's still alive. No, he's freaking old. All right, people. So yeah, so he's dead now. So don't go looking for a 100 and whatever year old Hitler somewhere. But yeah, he could have easily gotten out. Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, the U-boat-shaped rocks of Argentina. Lovely this time of year.
Basti got a second opinion from researchers in France. Not only was this a sub, it was a Nazi sub. He got a third opinion from the Italians. Not only was
was this guy always this thin, or he doesn't look healthy?
No, he was heavier during COVID.
Okay, so he's just losing because he looks like unhealthy thin. I think just mentioning it. I don't know.
I hope he's all right.
He's lost a little too much weight.
He's gone too far. If that's just voluntary weight loss. So
Ozempic.
Maybe I don't.
Was it a Nazi sub? It was an IXC-40 U-boat, the exact type witnesses saw carrying Hitler. The mastermind of Hitler's escape was Martin Bormann, his closest advisor and Nazi party minister during the war. While Germany struggled to achieve victory, Bormann planned for defeat. The Reich would survive, even if Germany fell. In August 1944, he launched Operation Eagle Flight. The plan? Move Nazi wealth out of Germany. Bormann created over 750 front companies across 15 different countries. Swiss banks laundered money through networks stretching from Madrid to Buenos Aires. Patents and technical documents were transferred to foreign subsidiaries. Art collections were smuggled piece by piece through Spain, and gold was converted to bearer bonds.
Oh, hang on. Bearer bonds? Those are the things that Eddie Murphy found in Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
And Die Hard.
Yep.
And Lethal Weapon. License to Kill. The Goonies.
Right. Bearer bonds are like cash. Whoever physically holds the bond, the bearer holds the money. No questions asked. They could be worth $50 or $50 million. No records, no names, completely anonymous.
Yeah, the government doesn't like it when they can't track the money.
They don't. That's why bearer bonds aren't used much anymore. But before World War II, they were common and legally accepted almost anywhere. Bormann shipped bonds and assets using diplomatic pouches.
Yeah, I gotta stop you again there. What pouch?
Well, you've heard of diplomatic immunity?
Yeah, from Lethal Weapon 2.
Of course.
Diplomatic immunity.
According to international law, diplomats can't be prosecuted, arrested, or detained for violations of the host country's laws, even for serious crimes. Their homes, documents, and communications can't be searched or seized. A dip pouch has the same protection. It can be a bag, a box, or even a shipping container. The Vatican was part of Eagle Flight. The Vatican Bank answers to nobody. I covered the Vatican Bank in our episode about Operation Gladio, where the CIA worked with the Mafia and the Vatican to create a secret illegal terrorist army.
Gladio, link down in your tickle tote.
The Vatican also helped move people. Bishop Alois Hudal provided documentation and safe passage for high-ranking Nazis. The church's rat lines stretched across Europe to South America. And when the church couldn't help,
well, I don't know if I believe this because they're showing somebody going to this make-believe country down here called Australia.
I know.
Yeah, that's nonsense, right?
Undermines the whole thing.
If the
So
Brits
Hitler
were
did die in
involved
the
with
bunker.
if the Brits were involved with this, though, they'd say, "Hey, I got this little place out in the middle of nowhere. You could probably ship some people to, and nobody would notice."
What is this here? Look here. What is this way off the coast?
Wait. J.R.R. Tolkien. It's got a J.R.R. Tolkien symbol on it. What is that?
Oh, huh.
I thought New Zealand was way closer.
Yeah, I know. Everybody sees it in their head differently. I've taken that test too, where you think it is versus where it is.
Yeah, it's messed up, isn't it, Mark? It's like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't think of it like that, you know?
Oh, and here, look. This on this map, all of South America is east of Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy. So
I never saw it that way in my head after.
Neither
school.
did I. Like, that just
Yeah.
broke my brain, Dave.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yep.
I always pictured it to the west.
Yep. It
Holy
ain't.
fuck. Now, the New Zealand stuff I knew. Jim asked me that forever ago, but
But you know, the
Man,
thing about it
look
being
at how
so low
close-
is one thing, but look how far it is. Look at the size of Australia. It's massive. And look at
Mhm.
how
Yeah.
far away because you think New Zealand,
It's
sure,
like
it
a-
may be
like a
higher or
30-minute
lower, but it's
plane
it's
flight,
right over
right?
there. A
Yeah.
quick, speedboat, and you go. No,
Nope.
that's forever
It
away.
ain't, it ain't the Keys. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Where's this at? Yeah, New Zealand has always been there, he says. It grows with Australia.
I don't believe that fucking that blasphemer.
I mean, Australia is as big as the United States.
Yeah.
But look at how close it is, pretty big. Look at how close Africa is to South America.
Yeah, and imagine how much closer it was when the seas were 400 feet higher, Jim.
Well, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
Or lower.
Because
Lower. Yeah.
if you take the distance between New Zealand and Australia, it's only a little bit more from the closest parts of South America to Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
There totally could have been ships going from here, right here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
believe the thing where only today or just recently we could,
Found
take
travel.
boats around. Yeah. Why couldn't we go on water and go places?
Especially when the ocean was 400 feet lower, Mark. Think about how much less distance there would have been to travel.
And the tides and the
And the
Yeah.
tides,
storms
there
and
would,
stuff
there would have
been-
been probably much more islands and stuff. You could hop from
Yeah.
island to island. And that's probably what happened. And that's probably how like Easter Island and all that was occupied because there was all these islands. They just were going from island to island to island.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone would get blown off course. They'd find this island. They'd be like, oh, this is cool. And then they'd go back and say, we found this island. And they would just go and
Mm.
that's how they
Advocated.
spread.
Yeah. Yep.
the Red Cross could.
Whoa. The Red Cross help Nazis escape? Like the Red Cross?
Yep,
Yeah, next you'll be telling me UNICEF was running weapons.
actually,
No way!
different episode. The Nazis had built more than just a refuge in Argentina. They built
never
a shadow
trusted those
state
kids.
with its own territory, government, and military.
I know.
And now the new German state had a leader. They just needed to get him there alive. The next phase of Martin Bormann's escape plan was Operation Land of Fire. Create a secret paradise in Patagonia, Argentina. The area was perfect, vast, isolated, and already had a large German population. Juan Perón was the president of Argentina and longtime supporter of Hitler. His government issued thousands of fake passports. Police were ordered to ignore certain ships and trucks moving at night. Local Nazi sympathizers in key positions helped Bormann create a network of secure estates. Each one shared specific features: remote locations, escape routes, bunkers, and medical facilities.
Well, wait, wouldn't it have been like a dead giveaway that there was some swastikas on the doors?
Yeah.
Would that be a secret? I mean,
Yeah, you would
not,
think
not,
so.
not
wouldn't
very
you?
secret.
Yeah.
Maybe this is stock footage. Okay.
Facilities specializing in Parkinson's disease.
Wait. He had that?
He did, but his staff tried hiding it. As the war went on, he was rarely seen in public. Most photos were carefully staged to avoid showing his trembling left hand.
No, like FDR.
Right. President Roosevelt had polio. He could barely walk. He was always in a wheelchair. But at the time, most Americans didn't know. The press was told to hide his condition.
The media would lie about a president's health. I don't believe it. Too soon?
Could never happen.
Could never
Only back
happen.
then. Yeah, only back in the 40s. Yeah, not now.
I think I think we'd get along with this guy quite well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're simpatico.
Yep.
The OSS, American Military Intelligence, knew something was happening.
Wait, these guys are like Zorro? Or like what is this, like the Green Hornet? Isn't that the Green Hornet wore a mask like that?
Yeah, it was a Green Hornet. With Bruce Lee.
They tracked ships leaving Spanish ports. They monitored Swiss bank transfers. They watched German scientists disappear from Europe, then reappear in South America. But they missed the big picture. Operation Eagle Flight wasn't just an evacuation plan. It wasn't just about saving Nazi wealth. It was about building infrastructure, a network of secure facilities managed by loyal supporters. This system was designed to protect someone important, someone specific, someone who needed constant medical care. Then the OSS decoded a message from Bormann to Argentina. It was only 3 words. The package arrives. San Carlos de Bariloche is hidden in Argentina's Patagonia region. By 1945, it looked like Germany had been dropped into South America. Over 30,000 Germans poured in after the war.
That was supposed to happen. Patagonia, isn't that a very famous clothing
brand.
line?
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder if that's owned by Nazis. What do you think?
I think it's owned by a bunch of hippies.
Well, them hippies are Nazis these days, it seems.
They do make good winter jackets, though.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same.
German was the local language. Street signs were in German. Children learned from Nazi textbooks. The FBI tracked millions flowing in from Swiss banks. Spanish buildings were replaced by German. In the mountains, they built something else, an alcove, a fortress disguised as a mansion. An alcove was a command center. It had underground generators, security quarters, hidden rooms, escape tunnels, and advanced radio equipment. A watchtower overlooked a concrete bunker. A ramp led to a boathouse hiding a seaplane. His staff was carefully chosen. Dr. Otto Lehmann, Parkinson's specialist. Heinrich Bethe, former U-boat commander, was security chief. Both worked directly for Hitler before the war. The area was crawling with Nazi fugitives living in plain sight. Erich Priebke, who massacred 335 Italians, ran a deli in town. He was caught by ABC News in 1994.
You were just following orders? Yes, of course, yes. But I didn't shot anybody.
He actually denied that he had shot anyone personally. But we had papers from a British prisoner of war camp where he had admitted shooting 2 people.
Adolf Eichmann lived nearby before moving to Buenos Aires. Mossad captured him in 1960. Josef Mengele, the infamous Angel of Death, lived in the town for a while. He was never caught. Catalina Gomero was a maid for wealthy Nazi sympathizers.
What do you guys think? You believe this?
I don't see anything too far-fetched here. I mean, we know that a lot of Germans went there, and the rest of this is
And
not
they're still
wild.
there. Like,
Yeah.
you go to Argentina, there's a whole community of blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids and parents walking around.
I'm a pretty big World War II revisionist. You know, I don't. I think there's a lot
You
more.
see these
questions
latest
than we have
pictures released of Diddy and his friends?
Oh my God!
Yes,
the Ellen
I
one
love
is,
this.
is
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, you know, I like the people who are speculating. Yeah, she didn't leave the country because of Trump.
Yeah, the J. Look how hot J-Lo is. Go down a little bit, Jim.
This one?
No, right there. Bottom row in the
Look
middle.
at Oprah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Ellen.
Very bottom in the middle, there's J-Lo and Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look how cute she is.
Love you, Dan Blackroyd. You prick.
You prick.
Here's the Time Bandits.
Oh my God.
Oh
Time
no.
Bandits was a good movie, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That is so great. Look at Jim.
Look at that's
Dave.
this is
That's
Dan
ID.
Blackroyd.
Oh, okay.
I like this picture a lot.
That is
I'm
Yeah,
saving
good.
this one.
This
It's
is actually pretty
real.
good.
Like it doesn't
Yeah,
look,
the only one that seems a little off is Jim because of the shade on his face, but other than that, they all look real. Dave's is great. Jesus Christ. Look at it.
I like
Yeah, I love
ID's,
this-
I like
I love
ID's
this
pose
stuff.
there too, like presenting his drink. That's cool.
Yeah.
I had to save that one.
It's amazing. Hey, Jim, if you could like send me a copy of that one, because I'm not in the room where these are posted. So
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you.
yeah, these are amazing. I just love how these are possible now. God.
Yeah, as long as they're not made out of any kind of ill, right? You're not trying to fuck with people. You're just having fun, right? Like you don't want people to make a picture and then try to blackmail them over something that's not real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would not be good.
No. I think that's what people fear about this kind of stuff, right? Like, God damn, they can make us like that picture looked real. Like it looked like we were there having a good time.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a dangerous proposition for sure.
But the way Dan uses it, it's fine. I like that.
She said Hitler stayed at their estate. She was told to never repeat what she saw.
Estuvo Hitler ahí, sí. Estuvo 3 días. Yo sí. Eso yo, porque mismo los choferes y todo, el padre Mónica también, pero nosotros tenemos que callarnos la boca. O perdíamos el trabajo, y después lo agarré
Yes,
a
I was a
Luis yo,
young,
y le dio
pretty
chilvi.
girl back then, and
Yeah.
Hitler favored me above all the others.
I would have think they would have lost more than their life if Hitler was really there. You know, like especially with Perón. You know, what was it? Alvita? Right, that was her father. Right, she ended up coming back. That was her name, wasn't it? That Madonna made a movie about.
Yeah,
Alvita Perón.
Yeah. Cry for me, Argentina. Whatever.
Cállate, me dice, no digas nada. Si usted, ahí había foto de él, y después uno, por más que no tenga video,
A hotel owner reported serving an elderly gentleman with a distinctive mustache in 1953. A local boy saw the same man walking in Alco's grounds at night. A housekeeper cleaned a study filled with maps and German military photos. For years, Hitler lived quietly at Analco with Eva and their daughter, but his marriage was failing and his health declining. Then in 1955, everything changed. Argentina's government was overthrown. Juan Perón fled the country. Without his protection, Hitler had to run again. But his past was about to catch up with him.
Kevin, the Cuddle
Without
Club
Perón's
picture
protection-
is the only real picture.
The Cuddle Club.
Did you see that one, Jim?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
What was wrong with my
You looked way too happy.
Oh, my hair looks all fucked up today.
And Hitler moved deeper into hiding at La Clara estate. But even here, witnesses kept seeing him. A farmer described an elderly man with a trembling left arm being helped along a mountain path. A shopkeeper recalled a German customer who used a cane and spoke with a slurred Austrian accent. This was all a conspiracy theory. Then in 2017, everything changed. Remember those JFK files that went public?
Yeah, I remember. They still held back the good stuff.
They did. But buried in those files was something that wasn't supposed to be there. A CIA memo from 1955.
CI Melody 3 was contacted on 29th of September 1955 by a trusted friend who served under his command in Europe and who is presently residing in Maracaibo. CI Melody 3 preferred not to reveal the identity of his friend. CI Melody 3's friend stated that during the latter part of September 1955, Philip Citroen, former German SS trooper, stated to him confidentially that Adolf Hitler is still alive.
This is important.
Oh, there's more. The memo included a photo.
What?
Hitler left Colombia for Argentina around January 1955. Citroen commented that inasmuch as 10 years have passed since the end of World War II, the Allies could no longer prosecute Hitler as a criminal of war.
They were wrong about that shit.
What happened next?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they could have went after. Maybe there were at the time. Maybe there was some kind of statute of limitations or something. But they ended up. I mean, I remember in the '90s them fucking grabbing people out of the U.S.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They were wrong about that shit. They were. Yeah. If they found one today that was 104, they'd put that fucker in jail.
Yeah.
The station chief said he would investigate if CIA wanted him to.
No, what'd they find?
Nothing. They said don't bother, it was a waste of resources.
Oh, tracking down the most evil man alive is a waste of resources.
Apparently so.
The CIA picked a strange time to suddenly become budget conscious.
Maybe not so strange.
Whoa, what do you mean?
The eyewitness accounts go on and on. Hernan Ancin, a local carpenter, saw him at least 5 times.
Debe de haber sido fines del 53.
¿Y en qué circunstancias?
Vino ahí, venía
¿A dónde?
al edificio a hablar con Pavelic. Venía caminando con los 3 guardaespaldas y la señora. Prácticamente lo traían caminando, ¿no? Que apenas caminaba él.
Tenía la misma pinta.
La misma, de blanco, pelo corto, tipo militar, cortado, sin bigote. Bueno, ahí estuve yo conversando, me invitaron a sentarme en la mesa, me convidó la señora de Pavelic con un café. Hitler estaba tomando café con alguna bebida más con Pavelic. Y yo ahí le conté. Entonces, Pavelic le dice a Hitler, es el carpintero, dice que me hace la carpintería en el edificio. Entonces Hitler me miró y me hizo una reverencia así, en esta forma. Un saludo, ¿no? Más cerca de él. Estuve tomando café, inclusive.
¿Usted está convencido que la gente?
Sí.
So I guess maybe it's possible that all that stuff about how Hitler was all on meth and all fucked up and going crazy and losing it maybe was a lie. It was just propaganda from our government, kind of like the propaganda about how the Japanese were these little goofy monkey creatures that ran around and
Coke bottle glasses.
And they would have never ended that war because those Japanese were going to die.
Our government would never lie to us.
No.
What the fuck are y'all talking about?
They lie to us every time they take taxes out of our check.
That's true. I guess I need to rethink my life then.
Local records track shipments of Hitler's medications. Then morphine delivery started. His health was failing fast. Security tightened. No visitors were allowed past the main gate. Delivery stopped half a mile from the house. Ava Brown took their daughter and left. By 1961, he rarely left his room. His mind was unraveling. Staff heard him talking to himself for hours. The next day at 3 p.m., Hitler died. He was 72 years old. Dr. Lehman's final diary entry read, "I fear I've outlived my usefulness." It was the last anyone ever saw of Otto Lehman.
Oh, shit.
After Hitler's death, the Nazi paradise in Argentina began to crumble. But that's not the real story. The truth is far worse. Argentina wasn't the country who protected the most Nazis. That was us. The United States didn't just defeat the Nazis, we absorbed them. Eli Rosenbaum and Mike McQueen worked for the Justice Department. The Office of Special Investigation hunted Nazis. In 1994, they investigated a possible Nazi living in Boston working at a camera repair shop. The suspect turned out to be Aleksandras Lalaikis. Lalaikis ran the Lithuanian security police, directly responsible for sending thousands of Jews to their deaths. The CIA recruited him in 1952 to spy in East Germany. Then they helped him move to America and hid his war crimes from immigration. When OSI tried to bring charges, the CIA resisted, even though they knew exactly what he'd done. But as the investigation continued, they found something worse than a Nazi in hiding. They found a network of Nazis recruited by and paid by the CIA, thousands of them.
Author of a new book that unveils the secret history of how America became a safe haven for thousands of Nazi war criminals. Many of them were brought here after World War II by the CIA and got support from FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover.
The thinking was that no one hated the Soviets more than the Nazis. And American intelligence gurus like J. Edgar Hoover at the FBI and Alan Dulles at the CIA wanted to put that hatred and that vitriol and that expertise against the Soviets to work by anointing the ex-Nazi spies as American spies, Cold War spies, and informants.
The CIA and FBI had been protecting some of the most evil men in history for years. Otto von Bolschwing was a successful California businessman. He was also Adolf Eichmann's mentor in implementing anti-Jewish programs. When Israel captured Eichmann in 1960, the CIA helped von Bolschwing avoid exposure.
And so they came. Thousands of Nazi collaborators scattered across America, in Queens, in Boston, in Baltimore, in Washington, in Chicago, in Los Angeles.
Klaus Barbie was called the Butcher of Lyon for torturing members of the French resistance. When France tried extraditing him for war crimes, the CIA refused. His anti-communist intelligence work was more important than justice for his victims. France pressed, so the CIA then helped him escape to Bolivia.
I thought they were just supposed to pick up, a few rocket scientists.
Operation Paperclip brought in some of the world's most brilliant scientists and engineers. They also happened to be vicious war criminals. Kurt de Bus, Arthur Rudolph, Herbert Rees, Walter Dornberger, Erwin Oberth, George Rickey, Konrad Dannenberger, Ernst Stullinger, and Werner von Braun became the backbone of NASA. They got America to the moon by converting their V-2 rocket from a weapon into the Saturn V spacecraft. The V-2 was built with slave labor from concentration camps. 20,000 innocent people were worked to death to build those rockets. Anyone who complained was hung in the factory. The factory was run by those 9 men and others. They said they didn't know. Arthur Rudolph received the American Distinguished Service Medal while the military buried his past. When investigators finally caught up with him, he fled to Germany. Hubertus Strughold is known as the father of space medicine. He helped astronauts prepare for spaceflight. In Germany, he conducted experiments on children. He put them in vacuum chambers to simulate the effects of high-altitude sickness, such as hypoxia.
So you see him here on the right with a flight simulator that he set up in Texas. He also had a flight simulator not unlike this in Dachau during the war at the concentration camp. That was where they would put children and subject them to far greater levels of pressure and gravitational pull to the point that many of them died.
He was on the U.S. military's list of war criminals since 1945. But his background was hidden until after his death. Siegfried Rook worked with him. After he was acquitted at Nuremberg, the U.S. Army hired him. Erich Schraub ran the Nazi bioweapons program and reported directly to Himmler. The U.S. Army recruited him to research bioweapons. I have an episode that might prove Lyme disease is actually a U.S. bioweapons accident.
Killer insects linked down in the stash can.
Walter Strieber, Kurt Blom, Theodor Benziger, Otto Ambros, and Friedrich Hoffmann were chemists and scientists, all connected with slave labor and experimenting on prisoners. All were recruited and protected.
Yeah, I think that Ambrose guy was responsible for like a lot of the chemical weapons development in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken, like a lot of it.
Well, I guess the question is, if we didn't do it, the other countries were.
Yeah, Russia would have taken them, and we'd all been fucked in.
Yeah.
Did by the CIA. And the list goes on, but I won't make you suffer while I try to pronounce German names. America recruited over 1,600 Nazi scientists after the war. But they didn't just help scientists escape, they helped everyone escape. War criminals, SS officers, concentration camp guards. They created new identities. They destroyed records. They buried evidence.
But
at least
why
10,000
go after the
Nazis found
people
refuge in
that didn't have anything to? Why a camp guard? What did we gain by bringing over a camp guard? The rest makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, it's like a lot of, if you remember, a lot of the people that they ended up sending back were like camp guards and stuff like that. So I think those people just escaped and came, and then they were like, "Oh, let's give him this guy because he's nobody. He can't do nothing for us." Or
Well,
he
all
was
right.
like
So
their
that
pawn.
there's your deep, 4D chess thing. Let's bring a ton of them over in case they ever ask for any. We'll give them hundreds of useless people.
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, who knows? Maybe these camp guards were the ones that the church helped smuggle, not so much the government.
Yeah,
There was thousands that escaped. Tens of thousands.
Oh yeah, through the fucking.
They call them the rat lines.
Yep. Through the Catholic Church.
In America, through CIA and FBI protection. And these were just the ones we know about. In 1998, the CIA admitted destroying thousands of files related to Nazi recruitment. They claimed it was routine file maintenance. Investigators found shredding orders dated.
I'm sure there's been a whole bunch of routine shredding maintenance going on at the FBI and CIA the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Yes,
positive.
Yep.
Just routine.
Yeah, no big deal, right?
Lots of hard drives.
Just
getting
days
erased
after
and
Congress
stuff.
requested the documents. A lot of document requests came back with destroyed in fire.
Uh-huh.
Thousands of Nazi war criminals died peacefully in American suburbs. The agencies meant to protect us actually protected them. And they hid this from us until legislation forced them to declassify their files.
There were so many things that occurred to me at the time. Well, why did this happen? Why did the government allow them to come here? Who was responsible for this? But I said to myself, the most important thing now is to find out how many Nazis there are and bring them to justice. We can find out the history later.
And the files show that things are
Jim,
even worse.
everybody that was in the German army that's a soldier needed to die. Is that the whole thing? I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Oh fuck. I don't know. I mean, there's some evil people for sure, but there's evil people in every government. There's evil people in our government. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and where do you stop? Do you go after literally every soldier?
you can't.
Yeah,
You can't. Fuck. I mean,
We allowed the Russians to go after the German citizens. The shit that they did after the war was insane. Not just the soldiers. And nobody did anything about the graping and everything that happened.
Yeah.
So it's disgusting what we allowed to happen.
I think I mentioned it before, maybe on another stream. Like, imagine if we were losing World War II. Okay.
Because
for
Japan
whatever
had the
reason,
fucking
because
nukes,
Japan had the upper hand or whatever, and they were invading bombing us, and our food supplies were low. What would have happened to the people we had in camps here?
Yeah,
they would have been starving.
Yep.
Exactly.
We would have been feeding our soldiers and our citizens first, not the people we had in camps.
Prison or concentration, either or, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
plenty of soldiers died of starvation too.
A ton of our soldiers that were in Japanese prisons died.
They got killed.
The Bataan Death March.
The Japanese didn't give a fuck about rights of prisoners of war.
So I mean,
well, if you're being pushed to your limits, if that happened in America, we wouldn't give a shit about prisoners' rights either. We
Exactly.
barely do now. So yeah, it's logical. All of it's set up to paint an enemy, so we all go rah rah.
Well, look,
we did the right thing.
Sonorum is correct. Andersonville Civil War. Look into it. Holy fuck!
There's a movie about Andersonville that is a miniseries, actually, that is pretty gruesome for what it is.
Yeah. And that's
what's the story?
Against Americans,
Yeah.
It was a Confederate camp that had
Civil War
Union
camp.
that had Union soldiers in it, and they were starving. They had no food.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
eating each other.
Yeah, they were all shoved. They had a creek that ran through the middle of it. There was their water and sewage.
That was a Union prison for Confederate soldiers, right?
No, it was a Confederate prison for Union soldiers. I'm pretty sure, right?
Because I'm pretty sure that the Union Army treated Confederate soldiers like fucking trash, and they were starving and dying of disease all the time in the Union camps.
It was in Georgia, so
there was one in Illinois that was a Union camp.
Yeah, there's
remember the name
another
of
one too that was pretty bad also. That, but no, this was a Confederate prisoner of war
Yeah,
camp.
Andersonville was in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, plenty of Union or Confederate soldiers got treated like shit by the Union.
Yeah,
they were no fucking heroes.
Well, no, what I'm getting at is like
we did it
because,
already.
It was because of the conditions.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they had no food to feed themselves, so they weren't taking care of the prisoners. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I think about this too. Like the Nuremberg trials after the war. Had we ever done that as a planet?
No.
Put the country on fucking trial?
No, and we haven't since then.
Yeah. This is what the prison looked like
in
the U.S.
Did we send the Japanese to court or just the fucking Nazis?
I don't think so. I don't think the Nazis did.
Yeah, which is amazing because the stories about Japan's treatment seem so much worse.
Dude,
Forget
they
about
killed so
concentration
many
camps.
Chinese people.
I was about
Holy
to say
shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
Dave.
massive.
The shit
the
they
rape
did
of
in
Nanking.
China was insane.
Holy shit! What they
They
did.
killed more Chinese than fucking Nazis killed fucking bankers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all weird when you really think about it. Like it was just a show trial, and now this bitch is talking about, oh, I found this Nazi youth. You know those Nazi youths that were there in Berlin the last 2 days of the war, and they're like 12 years. Oh, you got to die. I was 12. God damn it! What the fuck? Ugh.
Yeah, this is what it looked like when they were distributing rations in Andersonville.
At some point, why don't you just say, go home, boys? I mean,
After the battle for Atlanta.
yeah, just go the fuck home. We can't support your asses. Fuck. Maybe I'm just being. I just think that whole Nuremberg trial thing was.
Now, have
just
you
for
ever
show.
watched it? Like, you can watch it. Like, it's available through what
weird, too, like-
it? Stanford or Sanford that's out in California? Which one is it?
Stanford.
They have all the trials backed up on video and shit, and you can literally go to their website and watch them. I've watched them. It was a fucking dog and pony show.
Yeah. Like guilty.
No, there was a bunch of people that got found innocent because they wanted them. The CIA or OSS.
The only person that admitted to the major, Holocaust situation, the atrocities, was one guard. He was the only one, and they had beat him. They had beat him the night before to get him to do it. So I'm not saying bad things didn't happen. Of course they did.
Of course,
It
bad
was
things
war.
happened. It was a war.
Of course. But the shit that they painted because that we destroyed the supply lines, we fucking bombed places and literally created fucking fire tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the shit that we did, we were trying to cover up because we also committed fucking war crimes.
We killed lots of innocent citizens from the sky.
Tons of fucking innocent citizens for no fucking reason other than we were told to do it.
There was an ammunition plant there. We got to destroy that plant. You got 58 fucking bombers to take out one little warehouse.
Yeah, so you want to destroy the entire fucking city for one warehouse? Okay, that makes sense. But
I don't know that we've said anything that's crazy.
I only speak facts. The shit that I have
Yeah.
literally gone and read from, like the Nuremberg trials or other papers.
Nobody's denying anything happened. We're just saying there was reasons.
I don't understand the court case afterwards. Like it was a war. It was a war. You either go to you go back home like Grant let fucking Lee go home, right?
Well, I mean, I think like what happened with
Just look up the bombing of Dresden.
Look at the amount of stuff American soldiers got to confiscate during World War II and send home.
Yeah, dude.
Like basically just going into houses, taking their fucking shit. And I mean, I don't know. It was, finders, keepers, whatever, plunder.
But the
plunder.
Nazis were the gold thieves, right? There's that missing Nazi gold out there still, all that good stuff.
You look at the bombing of Dresden, and we murdered like 40, 150,000 citizens, not military, citizens.
In a night.
In one fucking night. We bombed them with the British over and over. And then when we were done, we waited for them to get the ambulances out and people to start pulling bodies out. And then we bombed them a fucking again. It's sick, man.
Because there's an ammunition plant or something there.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't more people die in Dresden and also when we firebombed Tokyo than either of the atomic bombs?
Yes.
Yes.
Like
didn't we drop fucking stuff out of the sky to let the Japanese know this shit was happening?
Yeah, we warned them
Yeah,
beforehand.
we warned
I'm pretty
them.
positive.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that kind of lightens the two atomic bombs is the carpet bombing and so forth, the fire bombing, the incendiary bombs that go down and have, I don't know if it was napalm at the time. We burned so many people alive in Japan.
Tokyo.
Far more than the atomic bombs took out by conventional bombing at massive rates.
That's when you watch Godzilla -1, they're in Tokyo. It's not after the bombs. It's after Tokyo got fucking destroyed by fire from the US. Just firebombed the fuck out of Tokyo. It was a shithole.
I mean, I get the reason we did the atomic bombs, and we were wrong on that. That we killed 150,000 in Hiroshima and 260 in Nagasaki, or 240,000 in Nagasaki. So,
how many people died in Tokyo?
Let's see.
Because it was a more populated city, right? It's their capital, right?
We we killed 97,000 there and 125,000 wounded.
Yeah.
So you look at what we did just with the atomic bombs, and again, I get that, hey, they're not going to stop, whatever. That's still pretty fucking egregious to go to two non-military towns and just go, hey, let's run a test, boys. It's fucking gross, man. America's not innocent in any of this. And you've got to open your eyes and realize it if you ever want it to not happen again. It's just that simple. Yeah, Julio's right. Dresden temps were 1,500 degrees Celsius. It was so hot that the stone started melting. It's fucking the bombing of Dresden is egregious.
Yep. All right, let's finish this up, Jim.
It gets worse.
There was something that made Hitler's escape look trivial. Operation Sunrise. While America publicly fought the Nazis, Allen Dulles, future head of the CIA, was secretly negotiating with SS General Karl Wolff to protect key Nazi officials. While American soldiers were giving their lives to liberate Europe, Dulles and Wolff sat by the fire, drank scotch, and conspired in German.
Whoa, Dulles was speaking German to a Nazi during the war?
He was. And there's a reason for that. If you want a full episode on Allen Dulles and his brother, let me know. But let me know fast before they delete this channel.
No, I'll delete you.
Right. So, Hitler died in his bunker. That's history. But history is written by the victors. The true history of World War II was written before the war even ended. Society enforces an unspoken rule. Hitler died in that bunker, period. Question this and you'll face immediate hostility. You're a crazy conspiracy theorist. We can't even ask questions about his escape because the alternative is unthinkable. If the most evil man in history got away, what else did we get wrong? In 1945, Stalin said he escaped to Argentina with the help of the United States. Now that's unacceptable to the American public. Stalin was spreading misinformation. The US said Hitler was dead.
Russian misinformation, right?
Right.
That would never happen. Yeah.
They have a bot farm, and they were just spreading that misinformation everywhere. Yes.
But American intelligence wasn't so sure. A few years ago, over 700 pages of FBI files were declassified. The FBI had a special task force especially created to find Hitler. The lead agent believed he was alive, but still in Europe, not Argentina. Now, most of those sightings were debunked, but not all. The truth is, there's no hard evidence that Hitler died in the bunker. The mainstream narrative says there is evidence, but that's not quite true. At the end of the war, the Soviets said they found Hitler's body. Then Stalin gave orders. He escaped to Argentina. Their story kept changing. For years, nobody really knew. In 1968, the Soviets finally claimed to have his complete body, but then they said they had just fragments of his skull. In 2009, the Russian government finally allowed DNA testing of the alleged skull fragment they'd held for decades. It belonged to a woman under 40.
Oh, no.
The Russians have a section of his jawbone, they say.
Show him a picture of the choppers. Let's see the choppers.
No, if you want to see that, you can find plenty of pictures online. If I show those teeth, this video is going to be demonetized and buried.
Oh, you're way past that, Chief. This episode is never going to see the light of day.
Probably. Anyway, they say the teeth match Hitler's dental records. Great, let's see the records. They disappeared. New evidence came from dental records drawn from a dental hygienist's memory. Years later, x-rays appeared. What's the truth?
Let's DNA test the teeth and see if they come from the same head.
Can't. They're too badly burned, they say.
Yeah, but we can try.
Nah. After the Russians were embarrassed in 2009, they stopped cooperating. They got Hitler, and that's that. Their files are sealed. Argentina's files are sealed. Most of America's files are still sealed, at least the ones they didn't shred or burn. Now, I'm not making the case that Hitler escaped. I gave you a lot of information today, and there are links below to more. You decide for yourself. And I'm not judging whether Operation Paperclip was justified. Maybe saving 10,000 Nazis saved more American lives because they provided vital intelligence. Maybe they saved lives with their scientific contributions. Maybe. I can't make that judgment. But the victims of Nazi war crimes and their families can make that judgment. Either way, we should be allowed to know the full truth of what happened after the war. For example, we know the Allies liberated concentration camps, but we have this image of soldiers opening the gates and happy prisoners running out and hugging them.
That's not what happened.
Oh, no. There was nowhere to put displaced persons, as they were called, so they had to stay there. But now the same Germans who guarded them were prisoners in there with them. In some cases, they were forced to bunk together. General Patton, old blood and guts himself, appointed former SS officers to oversee the camps. He felt they were most qualified for maintaining order and administration.
Well, the Nazis were very good at administration, weren't they? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, that's sort of their, yeah.
The trains did run on time, didn't they?
Claim the fame, right?
Yeah, I mean, Patton wasn't wrong. There's that famous scene from the movie where he wanted to grab the Germans and point them in the other direction and go to Russia.
Yeah, and he wasn't wrong on that.
And he died.
He respected the Nazis more than he did the Jews. A lot more, if you read up on it. But you won't find much about his anti-Semitism in the books and movies about him. When Eisenhower found out what he was doing, Patton was transferred, essentially demotion to a paperwork position. So was Patton a hero or a villain? Or is the answer more gray? We can't really answer these questions unless we have the full truth.
I mean, didn't Patton say that we should push east and fight them over there before we fight them over here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I don't know.
He also famously said he thought
Patton
that we fought the wrong enemy.
I thought he was really a Christian, like a real God-fearing Christian. Is that just something they made up?
Well, they're saying he's anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So those kind of things, don't those not go together? I mean, I would think you can't be a God-fearing Christian and be anti-Semitic.
Well, technically you can't, because Christian is also a Semitic religion, or Christianity is, and so is being Muslim. All Semitic means is that you're from the book. So that's it.
That's interesting.
That in 1969 and 1950s and 1960s, J. Edgar Hoover was probably the most powerful man in Washington. No president could ask him to retire. No congressional committee, no Senate committee could ever hold him truly accountable for what he was doing with the FBI and its dirty tricks.
Dulles, it was one of the intelligence titans of the 1950s, one of the original Cold Warriors. And he was someone who believed that there were, quote unquote, moderate Nazis, his words, who the U.S. could use to its advantage in the Cold War. He actively recruited them himself and in a number of cases intervened on their behalf when they were facing accusations about their past, about their involvement in Nazi war crimes. And he and J. Edgar Hoover were really the two linchpins in this, in developing this strategy of recruiting ex-Nazis as Cold Warriors, as Soviet anti-Soviet assets.
Now, I love my country and I always will. But to love something requires knowing the full truth of it. We deserve to know the full truth of American Nazi cooperation. But we're not allowed to ask about Patton, about the CIA, or about Hitler. That's why this story stays buried. That's why theories are ridiculed. And that's why videos like this are demonetized and hidden. Because investigating Hitler's escape might reveal something ugly about the American military and intelligence agencies. That evil didn't die in that bunker. It just changed uniforms.
Based?
Wanted to put that hatred to work, put that hatred to work, put that hatred.
That was based, right?
Yeah.
He did not debunk it either this time.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up, Dave. Good point. Normally he goes, now this is what I think.
He goes,
here's the
but
fact.
Well, there's still a few minutes left.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
No,
about
he's
to go
going to
back
give Patreon people their credit.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's about to go back and just
'Cause
retract everything.
there's nothing to debunk.
No.
There's not. I mean, this is all stuff that's true. I mean, what do you debunk it with? People deny it? I mean, the paperwork's there.
That's all you have modern day, though. It's just people going,
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, but you can clearly go and find these records and look at them yourself and go, what the fuck? You can
Or
go
Mark.
watch the Nuremberg trial.
Or Mark, you could be disrespected.
Yes, exactly. You don't want to be disrespected, guys. Come on.
Yeah, don't walk on my
Dangerous shit.
property and push. If I walk on your property uninvited and you push me, now we're going to go at it.
Yeah, you could
Okay.
be, I could cuss you, and then you could be really mad because
Yes.
that's more important than you coming onto my property where my family stays, right?
Or anything. It's my fucking property. Stay the fuck off it.
Hey, Jim, I got a little 10-second tweet.
Sure.
In the private chat. For those of you who may be hungry.
No, Kevin, this doesn't count as one of Jim's 3 streams this week. This is on his channel, so.
Oh yeah, tomorrow is Boardwalk Empire.
Super excited. When I get done here, I'm going to watch Farscape again, and then go to work for a little while, and then come home and watch Boardwalk Empire. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, Mark. I saw this.
I know. Yeah.
They smash down a double smash burger, smash down another double smash burger, give one a flip, add on 2 cheesed up smash patties, their fried mozzarella square, house sauce, and that other smash double smash burger.
Oh, fuck.
This is the aggressive
Damn.
double smash from Buns and Shakes in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
I could do without the house sauce, but other than that.
Man,
What's
you
that?
know,
What is that,
sometimes
like a
you want
pound
greasy
of meat?
food. Oh, that is massive. It's wonderful.
Oh my God.
Just the experience, right? Just want to try.
Oh,
it.
yeah, just
Yeah.
once. You know, even if you only take 2 bites of it, geez, be great.
Double smash
good.
burger. Yeah, it
Looks
looks
good.
good. I don't want the sauce though. It looks like Thousand
that-
Island or something. I don't like that shit.
It looks like one of those weird, attempt at Thousand Island. Where it's got, too much ketchup or something in it. It's just all, ugh.
Or it's fucking mayonnaise, which is even worse.
Oh, yeah, like one of those comeback sauces.
Yes.
From,
What if it was like
Zaxby's
a
or
honey
whatever.
mustard, a light honey mustard? That wouldn't be too bad.
No,
That wouldn't
it
be
was
bad.
that.
That
But
wouldn't
if it's
be
a
terrible.
mayo-based sauce, man,
Don't want it.
the mayo-based shit has more calories than the meat that you're gonna eat right there. You're like, God damn it. It tastes okay, but I don't want the sauce either. Stimulated.
Yeah, me neither. I agree.
I always get my burgers or whatever plain. Don't give me that mayo or anything. I'll get mustard or ketchup. No calories on that shit.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'll get some ketchup, and, mustard depending on where we are. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm seeing that, Jim. More like Boardwalk Empire. More like Snowflake or Snorewalk Empire. Ooh. Jam.
I haven't been bored yet with Boardwalk Empire, so.
I haven't either. It's a great show.
I ain't built no bookcase, boss.
I love how you always make Dave the black characters.
Everybody does, man. Between him and Dan, it's like their fetish.
Nobody appreciates it more than Dave.
Well,
That's
Dave,
fair.
because this is why. Because you actually are a black man. Your kidney is in a black man, so it's just I
Oh,
can't
yeah, that
do
makes
it.
sense. Yeah.
You know, that
That's
would be
just
like
science.
blackface if I did
Yeah.
it, but you,
Trust the
you
science.
technically are inside a black man. So
Yeah.
sorry. You know.
Look, fellas, I'm gonna cut out. I appreciate the invite. I'm glad
Hey,
we
no
watched that
problem,
video.
Cynic. It was nice seeing you. You know.
Yeah. Well, if
We
you're
didn't
gonna do
talk
it
about
next,
any anime.
oh, keep talking, Jim. But yeah, if you do it next Sunday, send me a link. I'll pop on. So
Okay.
I did see that Vito went on a certain stream tonight.
yeah,
What
CG
stream did he
Church.
go on? Did he?
Came on. Yeah.
Huh.
It
Yeah,
was
he said
really
he was
good.
going to come on tonight, but he said he was already on 2 other streams and that he didn't want to. You know,
He was on Frog Tony's show tonight.
Yeah, he also went on there after ours.
He said he was on 2 streams and he didn't know if he could do 3 in a night.
I did too. So
But I'm very
I'd
kind
do
of
more.
upset because you know, Ethan Van Sciver said that he was couldn't find that no one was streaming, and I'm like, yeah, I sent you a link like 3 hours ago.
Huh.
And
Yeah,
then he
I
fired
saw
up
the
a
tweet on
stream.
that. Yeah,
Like, what?
yeah.
I guess I'm just nobody.
Yeah, I guess so.
I can't believe that, man.
You know, I don't know.
You have to teach him a lesson.
Me and Mark are counting down the days till we get our Ethan art from the art auction.
Yeah. Did anybody else ever buy Ethan art, and does it ever come?
No, no, I'm not gonna touch that one. All right, fellas, I'll catch y'all
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna check out too, Jim.
Okay.
Gotta get up at 5 and drive to fucking East Peoria, and then 5 hours south down to Vandalia. And then spend the night in a hotel for 3 fucking nights this week.
Well, trying to think. There was a restaurant in Vandalia. Good. A burger joint.
Oh, well, I'll look that up then.
I wanted. It was called the Burger King.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen the burger. I just had never stopped there. It's the Burger King. Yeah,
The Burger King. It's not
like
a
old
Burger
mom
King.
and pop place.
Right,
Yeah,
It's old mom and pop joint. It's really good.
okay, I'll stop in.
I think it was Vandalia, around Vandalia, maybe, or Effingham, or some fucking.
No, it's not Effingham. It's. I think it's Vandalia. Could be Salem.
Somewhere in Southern Illinois.
It's. I've seen it
By
multiple
a
times.
I think it's by a university or college.
Oh,
maybe.
is
I
that
don't know.
Is that Carbondale?
Maybe Carbondale. No, not Carbondale.
That's too far south.
I don't know. It's somewhere down there.
Cool. I still got to get to Johnny's beef, dude. Anyway, Mark, good seeing you, buddy.
Good to see you, Dave.
And Jim, you have a good night as well. Chat, thanks for being here. Got 25 people watching, Jim. That's pretty good, man. Getting those watch
Or
hours
until
in.
Ethan started streaming.
What a douche. Fucking guy. All right, guys. See ya.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just us. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Jeez. I do have something that nobody's going to like at all, but it's disturbing and it's thematic to. Have you seen what's going on in the trans debate? There was a appearance before the Supreme Court reviewing Yeah, the Tennessee law and all of that. And apparently the people trying to get rid of the law really fucked up. The trans lawyer who made a brilliant interview like the day before said, yes, 2-year-olds know their gender. I said, what the fuck? And didn't do much better in front of the Supreme
did you see
Court.
that the one person said something about how that they know in the womb that they're trans?
God.
But wait, then that means that they're people in the womb.
Oh, and only leftists would say that. So, gee, it's like they're thinking
then
ahead.
that would mean if you're aborting, you could be aborting a trans. You could be committing a trans genocide by abortion.
Maybe that's what they meant about the trans genocide.
Maybe that's what they mean. Is that, that
Yeah.
all these abortions are all the transies.
Now, not everybody's going to want to see this. It's just a short video. It's in the private chat. It's disturbing though, because you look at this, and this encapsulates our parents doing the whole Munchausen by proxy thing, trying to get their kids to be trans so that they're special. Yeah, you've probably seen it because it's been making the rounds, but it's really disturbing.
Yeah, this person is extremely disturbing, and I would think that this should be this is bad.
Hey guys, so Edie wants to do a summer holiday morning routine and show you. Get ready with me and show you guys what her skincare is and her room is and how she picks her outfit and all that cool. So that is the skincare element of the video complete.
I don't like the way this person is touching this child.
No, I don't like the hands all over. Now, for people who don't get it, maybe some people don't, but
is this a
that's
gay
a little
guy?
boy. I don't know about that. This is a little boy who probably thinks for some reason that they're a girl, so they've got their hair longer and they're doing videos like hair care routine and skincare routine, but the father is creepy as fuck.
That is a father?
Apparently.
Man, this is...
What's next, Edie?
I think I'm going to do my hair next.
How do you get your hair so wonderful?
Maybe not in the morning because it doesn't look that wonderful.
Yeah,
that is creepy. That's all of that TikTok stuff where, you're getting clout off of your kids or whatever. And it's really disturbing. Fathers can play with kids in certain ways, but that is hands all over. I'm going to say her, but it's a boy. Really disturbing. I don't know. But the good news is, as I'm reading the tea leaves here, I've been researching trans stuff for a long time, and things are going so well on our side with Europe pumping the brakes hard on everything related to child transition. I mean, they were ahead of us, and now they're slamming on the brakes. We were behind in the US, and we're still got our foot on the accelerator. But with Trump's election, with this Supreme Court case, multiple detransitioner lawsuits are going forward now, and they're going to go forward during the Trump years. They're going to be settled. I think there's going to be massive crushing blows to anything related to child transition, and maybe more than that. So I'm looking for what I think is going to be good news on that front. I'm really hopeful. 6 months ago, I was not hopeful at all. I thought the left would be in power forever and all of that. So maybe good news is coming.
I just don't know, man. Like the whole thing, just leave kids alone. I just, leave kids alone. I mean, you start doing some of this stuff, and it makes me like.
But in a way, and it's kind of twisted, but the fact that they just kept going further and further, they went to kids, and there are even people left of center saying, whoa, wait a second. We didn't sign up for this. So it's not just, only Trump supporters, care about this. Everybody else wants to. No. There were actually like good parents on the left that say, whoa, all right, fine. I was fine with gay pride, but no, don't get all handsy with your little boy there. Don't put your little boy in dresses, people, and I don't know. So,
well, like the whole gay pride thing too. It kind of makes me like, why?
Well, those of us that look at what we see gay pride being, which is a bunch of men in BDSM gear, usually very little with just leather straps on them. All that stuff is all bullshit. That's terrible stuff. That wasn't what gay pride started out as. It was literally just parades of people with flags and just walking down in a parade, But then the BDSM people got in there and the sexual fetish people got in there, and it just got creepier and creepier. And then drag queens, twerking in front of little kids. And it's like no one can set a limit on anything, this far, no further. But that got blown away years ago. So this stuff has just gone freaking crazy.
I would think that I thought the goal was for it to be accepted in society and you could be what you wanted to be and nobody was going to discriminate against you, and to be part of society, not to be this separate thing to like, hey, look at me.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like a lot of things that started out with good intentions, they won this victory. Gay acceptance actually happened before gay marriage was accepted. And when gay marriage got accepted, it's over. The battle's over.
Yeah, it went from stay out of my bedroom to, hey, look at what I'm doing.
In my bedroom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People do that shit. And the stuff with the trans stuff. Trans stuff was done quietly, a few people. Now it's front page news. Geez, guys, too far. So yeah, I think these next 4 years will be really helpful. I think we're heading to better times.
Okay. I don't know anything that we were interested in looking up. I don't see anything else really. I don't see anything else really popping out at me. I haven't seen anything on Twitter come up about Syria. Nothing new.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's a whole lot of more of the same in my Twitter feed, at least. It's stuff that's been going on now for a couple of weeks. Maybe we need to get into a new week, and something's got to displace what's there now. Something crazy has to happen, So Syria will be in place for X number of days, and then something crazier will happen. They just keep ramping it up.
Are you going to fire the current FBI director, Christopher Wray, who you appointed?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home. I'm suing the country over it. He invaded Mar-a-Lago. I'm very unhappy with the things he's done. And crime is at an all-time high. Migrants are pouring into the country that are from prisons and from mental institutions, as we've discussed. I can't say I'm thrilled. I don't want to be Joe Biden and give you an answer and then do the exact opposite.
We're going to talk about
So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is I certainly cannot be happy with him. You take a look at what's happened. And then when I was shot in the ear, he said, "Oh, maybe it was shrapnel." Where's the shrapnel coming from? Is it coming from heaven? I don't think so. So we need somebody to straighten. I have a lot of respect for the FBI, but the FBI's respect has gone way down over the last number of years.
Don't you have to fire him in order to make room for Kash Patel if he is in fact confirmed?
Well, I mean, it would sort of seem pretty obvious that if Kash gets in, he's going to be taking somebody's place, right? And somebody is the man that you're talking about.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Sort of makes sense.
Maybe he could offer him as a deputy. You could work for Kash Patel.
Oh wait, we got a message from Frankie McDonald.
Oh, is it a weather report?
Oh.
I'm going to address all the false Photoshop of Frankie McDonald. And there's a lot of people doing Photoshop my face onto somebody else's body. It's not true. That software costs $500 Canadian. I'm real Frankie Don't.
Okay, so he's the real Frankie McDonald.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know it's not real.
Oh, morning in the capital of Damascus.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Now, I assume that's celebrative gunfire, not killing people gunfire, or is it?
Well, it's
Hard to
gunfire.
say.
It could be celebratory, or it could be well, either way, maybe they're celebrating by killing people. I don't know.
Could be.
Feels like a revolution, that guy says. Okay. Pardon won't stop the state prosecutions of Fauci. Okay, no, that, yeah, if someone wanted to. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, that is good news, actually, when you think about it. If the states can make cases.
Huh. Hmm. What is this?
Let's go. And you have 6 people out here.
Go away. Go away. I'm not talking to you.
You're not talking to the media. No one else gives you a platform. InfoWars gives you a platform. Do you filter your water?
No.
You drink the fluoride water?
Right out of the faucet.
You think there's no problem with that?
No, I don't think there's a problem with that.
What about the fluoride lowering IQ?
I've been all right.
Hey, can you tell me why Trump should be impeached?
Because asking a foreign government for help and dirt on a political opponent is illegal.
And what did Trump do? When did he do that?
Didn't you read the transcript?
What transcript?
He doesn't.
Oh,
Don't talk to him.
obviously you're not very well informed.
He was president when he was talking to the president. He wasn't campaigning. He was the president of the United States. Is he not allowed to talk to foreign leaders? See, no, this is a cult leader right here. She controls your free speech. You see that? She's controlling your speech right now. That's a cult leader. Nobody. I'm out here speaking freely. Who do you think controls my speech?
His name is Alex Jones.
He doesn't control my speech. He doesn't even know I'm out here right now.
Don't talk to him.
Where's
Don't
his
talk
name?
to
That
him.
says InfoWars.
Who owns that? Who runs that?
It says InfoWars. So what's your point? I'm out here asking you why Trump should be impeached. You notice how you can't answer a question. Now this guy's trying to block my camera.
Why not? Freedom.
So do you see how unintellectual you guys are? You can't even answer a single question. Why should Trump be impeached? How so? What are you talking about?
Clearly asked for interference from a foreign country.
When? How?
Right on the front lawn of the White House when he asked China to look into Biden.
Okay, so he's the president of the United States. Is he not allowed to look into corruption?
No, he's not looking into corruption. He's looking into Biden. He could give less about
Let me ask
corruption.
you a question. Is the government corrupt?
Portions of it are, but not this.
No, I bet you would have said the government is corrupt your entire life. And now you don't want to say that because Trump. Admit it. This is it. This is the big philosophical hurdle these people will not admit to. They all know the government is corrupt. Everyone knows the government is corrupt. Trump was not from the government. Trump has never been in government. Biden's been in government for 40 freaking years. Trump is now considering resigning because they have released brand new whistleblower technology, the likes of which we've never seen. Oh, look at this now. That's the magic tune right there to remove Trump from office.
Jesus.
Oh man.
How's your protest going? You have 6 people out here.
Oh. Jay-Z, a criminal turned tycoon. Threat exposed rappers. Oh. I hope that's not true.
Yeah.
What is wrong with Vito? You see this? What can you say during sex, but also at a family dinner?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, Vito. Vito is weird. Really weird.
Did you watch this Nerdrotic stream tonight? The
No,
Forbidden
no.
Frontier?
Oh,
I
that's
didn't-
right. He does that. You guys
Yeah.
say this is actually pretty
I
good.
actually like this Forbidden Frontier a lot. I would have watched this, but I was doing other stuff. George Knapp. It's fascinating stuff. Like I wish they'd do more of this stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there just isn't. I don't know what kind of views he gets there or whatever, but maybe it's just not big enough, you know. Pumping the hate up and all of that is so much more profitable.
The leftist good Samaritan. Stay here. I'm going to go write a law that forces you to buy insurance. Oh, hey, look, J3PO chatting with Zach Levy in the bath. What? What the fuck are you chatting with him in the bathroom for?
Guys chatting with you in the bathroom. Okay.
That is creepy and weird. Why is he wearing this gay rainbow? They're chatting in the bathroom.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. I can see. All right. At first, I was like, what's going on here? But they drew this on. All right. That's cool. Oh, let's see what he has to say.
Who believe that I stated this prior to the election, and this is what gave me, Marsha. People are saying, okay, after the president-elect is coming in, Eric is now saying different things. No, I was saying this prior to the election. I was saying those who are committing crimes in our city must be addressed, and we should change the current sanctuary city law to address that issue. Mayor Bloomberg knew that. Mayor Koch knew that. The previous administration altered that, and I thought it was a big mistake.
So do you think you could have any chance of re-altering or re-changing it so that there's more cooperation?
Well, the city council made it clear they don't want to change that. They stated they're not willing to change the sanctuary city law. I think they're wrong. I have my teams looking at my power as executive orders. I'm going
Is
to
it possible you could do an executive order?
We're looking at that. The legal team, the corporation council that they just approved, they're looking at, the office is looking at, do I have the power to do so? I have to protect the people of this city. That is my North Star. It always has been. And if you are committing crimes on migrants, on immigrants, undocumented, documented, it's all the same to me. And I want to address.
It's all the same to him. Documented, undocumented. He wants to get rid of all of them.
Not exactly sure that's what he said, but
that's what I heard.
Wouldn't it be nice to harken back to the old days where, hey, if you're a criminal, you're a criminal. I don't care if you came over on your family came over on the Mayflower, you're still a criminal.
And there was some girl saying something about that I saw about like, oh, you people, you're illegals that came, you're gonna have to go back and some weird shit on. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm gonna call it a night.
Yep.
Stick around
Good
for a
stuff,
second.
Tim.
Everybody, thanks for coming by. Go watch Ethan, I guess, since he decided not to come on, even though I sent him the link and he ignored me like I don't exist. Go give him a like and tell him he sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Go tell him he's drawing some shit over there. It looks, looks interesting what he's drawing, I guess. Pictures,
and then
drawing
present,
some stuff. So
share screen.
Yeah,
these guys were called the chat. Right before Vanessa,
we're gonna take off.
Vanessa left them.
We'll see you guys maybe tomorrow.
He is off the internet now, which makes me sad. All right, is that good? I think that.